Hello. It is time to basically just weed a bunch more. It is kind of sad to do the weeding to an event I've did the gameplay to. Gameplay is sometimes a nice break, that's for sure. I guess if we are feeling adventurous, we could also do it. I've done like almost all of the new EX stages, but I did not do EX8 yet because I didn't have enough time. Maybe we could do that too at some point, but I assume this gonna take like... Yeah, I guess if we're very lucky we finish it off today and we can do the X stage tomorrow. But I kinda doubt it. But the story is good. I like the story. I feel like they're going very in depth with the situation on Londinium, which they might not even have to. I guess it's a lot of characterization for Rena, which is nice, and she is the title character of this, so it makes sense. And I'm glad that we at least kind of seeing a little bit what Reunion is up to and stuff like that. And then we will see how we do with the exemplars. That was basically the last thing that happened. It's hard to believe that you're leaving, Lady Heidi. After all the effort it took to return to this great city. But perhaps it's time you returned to your father. Back to Toron? We will go further than that. My father's not the only guide I have in life. Your advice has been most enlightening, of course, just as your story of dinner with the envoy of the Earl of March. It's my pleasure to offer first-hand information to an aspiring novelist who is not involved in the political world. Yeah, she's not at all involved in the political world. Or perhaps I'll write my familiar homeland of Toron into the story of this terrible war in Londinium. Yes, it can be painful to recall those shameful times, but someone must remember the heroic deeds we performed for the city. Heroic. Yeah, especially some noble like you. You're right. Maybe we are all heroes. How about a love story? A girl from the Victorian borderlands falls in love with a young man who came on holiday. The young man dies on the battlefield of Londinium. Aww. Why do all the love stories need to be doomed? In the end, though, news of the young man's death turns out to be false, and he turns to her side a hero. Let's go. No, it's not doomed. She got me. A brilliant idea, Lady Heidi. Love lost and found again. Just like a city trampled by outsiders, but saved by our hands. Here, the orchestra plays. There's no wine or dessert, and the candles do not burn as bright, but the music remains beautiful. By all means, try the dance. Leave me on this balcony with the inspiration you've supplied. What about your friends here? We are just here to make a drug deal. An emissary from a foreign land, yet unfamiliar with Victorian customs. Surely you'll forgive him. Of course, of course. Lady Heidi, is that right? I can show you around the place. No, we shouldn't bother you any more than we already have. Thank you for the assist. This place turns away no one. Next time, you should come in through the front door rather than the balcony door. Hey, you know, every entrance is an entrance if you try hard enough. Thank you for the offer, but we're not that interested in noble parties, to be honest. Victorian noble politics was the first thing I studied before I came. I'm familiar with your customs, your attitudes toward the infected, even your dance steps. Okay, maybe it's a bit of a waste if you even need to study the dances. Setting aside what a third-rate novelist would call herself noble, have you asked the soldier why she brought you here? She didn't make me come here. I insisted on coming. Apologize, Lady Heidi. He said he wanted to steal Londinium and learn more about our infected problem. So I was taking him around. In less than conventional ways sometimes. You can laugh if you want. You see how he is. Not at all adept at lying or concealing his thoughts. Rather fits a pure heart name, doesn't it? Eliseo, representative of Pure Heart Medical? I didn't expect our reputation to precede us. Sorry, she has like all the news networks of Victoria under her hands or something somehow. It's easy to recognize the people who are interested in the infected problem. Less easy to see through the concerted deception of the nobility. Like how most of the people stepping onto the dance floor are infected. That's to be expected, in theory at least. The original particles that the Sarka spread don't discriminate according to social status. But aren't they nobles because they're chosen by God, SMH? Nobody will say it out loud. Nobody asks if they're standing next to an infected. It's about appearances. And a dream. Eliseo gazes at the hall. There are holes and pillars where golden ornaments once glittered. Man, so you did get ransacked, huh? Hey man, how you doing? A testament to the looting during the war, but the passionate playing of the musicians is almost enough to cover up desolation. My internet finally working again. That is nice to hear. I'm doing good overall. Like, it's the weather's finally getting more bearable where I live since nice heat wave in Europe, and at least it's not like 30 degrees anymore, so I'm not perishing. Yippee! And this trophy is pretty good. The holes on the pillars were golden ornaments once glittered. A testament to the looting during the war. The passionate playing of the musicians is almost enough to cover up the desolation. Well, at least they're still paying them or something. Just make some slide for tomorrow. I see. The self-proclaimed novelist opens the cap of the fountain pen and scribbles in a notebook. Wait, that heatwave is real. For Europeans, it is not very bearable since we're not used to that. So yeah. I mean, all in all, I mean, it's not like anything too bad happened. Yeah. I mean, yeah. You could call it meaningless self-consolation at a time, and basic livelihood is in question. No, not at all. Just different ways of living. What is that? The shadow of a synopsis. And a little extra information. I'd like you to take it. I have a feeling we will meet again, Elisio. Thank you. You don't mind me asking, though. You seem to be holding on to some pain that this banquet can't soothe. I'm just missing a friend of mine. Oh, just one less person will speak with me frankly, now that she's gone. It's fine, that's war, baby. The Summit of Nations. Lateran is paying close attention to the events in Victoria. After all, this is a disaster caused by the Sarkas. Let's go, not an excuse to be racist against them. Say hi if you see my wife Fawn. That is a good choice. I mean, she did already appear in the event. She might come up again. However, the decisiveness that you in Parliament have shown on the Sarkas question gave me hope for the city's revival. Though you actually managed a ceasefire, impressive. Of course, His Holiness sincerely wishes to build the Bridge of Peace for the nations of Terra, in order to prevent another tragedy from happening. You are not only here on behalf of His Holiness Lateran Pope, are you? I am but a humble messenger, but do you wanna join the Freemasons? Here to deliver a message to you in Parliament. Then please send my apologies to His Holiness. I appreciate the kindness that Lateran is demonstrating, but Parliament is not in a position to address matters beyond Londinium. I mean, it is kind of that they need to kind of focus on rebuilding. Who's my wife? That's a good question. I mean, I really like Havuga's design, but it's gonna be so long till I see her in the story. I do really like Viviana though. Viviana is good. It's probably would be Viviana. I like Horn because of story and gameplay ability. Yeah, she's at least more interesting character to play with for sure, yeah. Kindly inform the Duke currently playing host to you that I'm not going to Laterano in any capacity. As for his own plans, those have never been any business of Parliament nor myself, have they? Of course, that's what messengers are for. Oh, Agiolas. He wasn't you got it in battleship during the war. Man. Could I not have it? I guess all the dukes are shit. I guess I cannot judge him too much. But I participated directly on behalf of Laterano. Just as I thought. Does Godadin have a sweet tooth too? If so, I don't have much for him here in Londinium. So much for Parliament's day off. One interesting tidbit. Lateran messenger went onto the ship with a group of refugees. He made an oath by placing his hand on his gun in order to convince the Duke to accept the refugees. And scorching hot Babel gave him a blister on his hand. That's out of nowhere. Is it important? Day off. Alright. I've been off. Now, which message should I read first? Investigation report on the arts circle remnants. You know, that's also what I read on my day off, you know, when I want to relax. That sounds like great. I do want to know all the specifics of the horrific war crimes. Yes. Oh? Vina sees Lieutenant Sheriff's name. Another letter. He sighs and drops it in the pending bin, also called the trash bin. Catherine, is this... Hey, Vina, we caught the swappers you were on about and taught them a lesson. Taking the fill up, have your patience, scum. You know what's even worse? We got a bunch of cowardly wankers who wanted to join the ranks, man. Sorry, this is now the most exclusive gang in all of Londinium. It's a good job you got the news quick and didn't give them a chance to grow. Right, she just became the Victorian Queen, give her some rest. That is true. I wish I could go out and move about. Good old days. The streets are calling her. Don't worry, I gave him an extra punch for you. And I saved your share of the thank you gift. Let's go, we have booths, right? Wait, you're not collecting protection money. Aww. Okay, that is cute. That is... aww. You know, she should tweet herself for sure. When was the last time you had candy since we got back to Victoria? Intwa. That's who got robbed said he made it himself. A whisk with every mouthful. It's not like you ever liked normal candy sticks. Let's go. I love my Mr. B candy. He said he couldn't get his hands on regular sweetness. So he tried potatoes, cabbage, original slug fluids. I feel like something like carrots or something like that can work, since, you know, that is... Or have your sweet potatoes, but... Original slug fluids? I tried all of them. Didn't throw up or nothing. Sounds like a real pick-me-up. Can I try one? Yeah, picture of bunches of large cats. Yeah, but cats are always cute. Sure. There's plenty. Are you okay, Vina? She looks very tired and overworked. Fine, I've had worse. What about your speaker duties? Yeah, what are you worried about right now? New laws? Announcements? Reports? Any work you need us to do, especially the ones that involve punching, which you can do yourself. I even took on a new lackey today. He's built like a straw, but I can teach him a few moves to defend himself. Do I want to know who that poor man is? Right, maybe substitute for meat, the slug? I guess. But it's just... there are sweet meats. I guess if you do work it right, that's fair, yeah. It's time for Glasgow to be built. When can we go back? Yeah, about that. I think she will be busy with Londinium for a while. Intva scratches her head. She did not need her friends approaching glances to realize she should not have asked. Vina glances across the desk, where the mountain of papers has not grown any thinner. It's kind of weird me out that they can eat man, but they're some kind of animal. Yeah, I guess since like all the races are kind of based off animals of like our world, and the actual animals in on Terra are kind of different species. Maybe it's, you know, they never really considered it too much. I mean, I do know that there's some, but it feels like every animal that is like basically from our world is like some special being, so maybe they just look at it as being very different animal from them as they're human beings. Evelyn walks to her side and takes the letters that she was holding. I think it's time to give a public answer to the issues that concern our citizens. Most don't come to listen to a parliamentary debate, but they listen to the radio at the end of a long day. The situation in the city is stabilizing. Requested a third engineering team for Norport. Soon our home will be back to the way it was. Yippee! Better than the way it was. You can go back to Linketine, Delphin, once you've taken care of this business. And we are growing more medicine. Yan. Lieutenant? I'm retired, Sarah. Okay, sir. I thought you had declined as an terms invitation. Just coming to visit, and to thank you again. I hope you don't mind. I don't remember much, to be honest. The doctors say the vox have got into my head. Your hands are trembling. No need to hide it from me, sir. I haven't forgotten what you taught me. Looks like addiction symptoms. From the war. Excessive painkiller use. Yippee! I guess that does easily happen, huh? After that thing at the walls. Man, maybe... I guess he was still needed during the war. It's easy to say. Maybe he should, you know, actually not just fill himself with medicine to keep going. You must stay. I'll go for a doctor. Maybe they can. At least find you some more painkillers. Yeah, maybe that would soothe the pain. That's why you're here, isn't it? Oh no, he has become just too much of a junkie. Supplies are short, but maybe they can spare some. Lady Delphin has been very good at the sanitarium and to us. Just a moment. I'll be right back. He wants to stay. Maybe he could really get some painkillers. Even just little enough to spare. Oh, where did he go? Sorry, got cold feet. Hey, watch where you're going. What? Keep your distance. Something's not right with him. The speaker's office. This way. Man. It feels so bad to see him like this. You know, was a rough start, but he was a good man. But man, you know, once the war's over, not everything is just sunshine, huh? Yeah, this is post-war Victoria. This is the Wiener Victoria event where okay, I have no idea how it ends, but we're gonna fix it. But it does basically play directly after chapter 14. We just toppled over. Another of those poor infected sots. Stay away from him. We're all goners if he shatters. I'm not. My body. I can't. I could get someone. Keep your distance, everyone. Trevor collapses on the street. The rays of the setting sun are not particularly bright, but they are enough to hurt his eyes. Aww. Or perhaps this is his body's way of reminding him that only another deep-seated desire can mask the pain. Twice Justice peering, like he instructed the soldiers fighting pain during the war. But he fails. Has already lost the fight. Not like this. Trevor sees fire. It is so hot, he cannot open his eyes. The sky burns. The walls burn. He burns. He sees the day when he lay on the ground beneath the walls. The walls of Londinium burned with Dweco fire, burning brighter and brighter until the flames consumed the sky. He cries out in fear and tries to cover his eyes. Oh. Lieutenant Sheva, wake up. Now that is a few, baby. He sees a hand reach out towards him. Lady Delphin? I've been waiting for you, Lieutenant. Saw the letter you wrote to Vina. He avoided me, just like you refused my offer of treatment. She never read my letter. Did she, Lady Delphin? I can guess what you wrote. I'm sorry, but I can't help you here. We both know the state of medicine availability in Londinium. You can stay here, but have you considered going to Rhodes Island? Where can I go? Lansdowne. No, I wasn't asking, Lieutenant. This is an order, and don't give me the excuse about being retired. Oof. I know why you hesitate. I know what you fear. You're afraid to face the senior officers who betrayed and abandoned you at Ironclad Galloway. You're afraid that you won't come good on your loyalty to me and my mother. You're afraid to return home like this, aren't you? I don't know. You're not as strong as you think, Lieutenant. And I'm not as weak or noble as you think. Our home is Lynchadine, not here. The war's over, Lieutenant. The soldier should go home. Don't be afraid. I'm going home with you. Let's go. But how? How do I make it home when I'm like this? I'll take care of it. Did you really think I would abandon you just because you didn't come looking for me? Thank you, Lady Delphin. Will you return to Londinium? Yes, I promised Rena, but she may have to wait. I'll make arrangements for you to get treatment. We'll depart once I've taken care of what I have in front of me. Yes, my lady. Lansdowne. Coming home, mother. Would be interesting to actually see that too. I wonder if we actually get to that in this event. You know, she kinda has to take over the dukedom in a sense too, right? She didn't really have time for that yet. We never knew when our next meal was coming. We often had to drive away troublemakers in the middle of a meal. That sounds nice. It only had it before? That's crazy. Knights of the Tower, Watchtower Backyard. Sambo. I thought you'd have gotten everyone to help fix up the guts of this tower by now. I thought you'd be getting ready for the speaker's speech, Vina. I'd rather not meddle with the designers while they work anyway. You know how to build a museum better than I do. I'm looking forward to what little surprise the Knights of the Tower Museum they're making has in store for me. But carving a monument commemorating the Knights? That's something I've got to do myself. Here, have a look. How is it? Never took you for a sculptor. Master Mitchell taught me how when I was really young. Though he'd always get so drunk he'd forget to teach me his special techniques. Gonna go sleep now? That's fair. Have a good night. Thanks for coming by. Come on, and I'll introduce you. This is Master Finn. From Adventure Time, the last captain of the watch, and the elder knight I was closest to. It's fine. Worst case, I will just go into, you know, underground, make myself a cave, plunder the supermarket for ice cream. I will survive. This is old Ferguson, the one who taught me to twink. This is Master Bailey, who did her best to teach me how to do makeup. Okay. Do you really need to be taught how to twink? But hey, you know, everybody needs alcohol resistance. And here's Master Mitchell. Not my carving though. He made it himself after a night at the pub. This is Carl. You know, okay, see, this is my whole friend group. And then there's Carl the Crybaby. I will not tell you why Carl has this nickname, but you know, this is Martin. Every week he'd sneak off before getting sent back by his family. This is Kevin. And then there's... I mean, yeah, supermarkets and stuff, stores like that do have, like, normally some air conditioning and stuff like that where I live, but private homes really normally do not. So, yeah. Wiener gently hugs Doctor, comforting her. Thanks, Wiener, but I'm fine. It's just that every time I come back here, those fading memories of mine become a lot clearer. Carved your own name too. Isabelle Montague. The Knights of the Tower never left. We're still here. Master Finn would be glad to hear it. You know, Parliament could retain the institution of the Knights, even if you... Our duty is already over, no? My new duty could be, you know, defending the Parliament. Yeah, good night. Victoria has no need for a monarch. Essentially, she has no need for the knights. Let her past be remembered in a museum. That's the best ending we could ask for. Since there's no more need to light up the tower for the palace's sake, her own duty is done as well. These days, Londinium is no longer home to Isabel, the Knight of the Tower. It's just Doctor now. Doctor of the Glasgow Gang. Man, the economy is so bad, even Knights has become members of street gangs, SMH. But Vina, if you still have need of the Knights, I won't hesitate. Just say the word. Don't tease me, Doctor. You heard the rumors too? We've been looking into who's been spreading them, but it seems there's a lot of people who believe you wholeheartedly support the idea that Wiener Victoria will be crowned king. Yes, still get the vibes that's not what she wants, but honestly, wouldn't be the worst for the country for sure. St. Masters College. Inicio, please wait! Oh, Jenna. More questions you'd like to ask me? Miss Molly wants to invite you to stay and watch us rehearse our new play. Also, Inicio, could you help me prove something? What is it? Jim and I had a wager that even if my Gwen and I moved to Columbia, we wouldn't be much better off than we are now. Is that so that in Columbia, kids like us wouldn't get to go to school? There wouldn't be any teachers who'd want to teach us how to do plays. I guess it probably wouldn't be taught in plays for sure. Jamie said everything you told us in class was a lie. Sana, you should be up on stage for the rehearsal. Don't be bothering Inicio now. Miss Molly! I was just inviting him to stay and watch. Let's go. Right, I guess she made it to the war. Allow me. Jamie's waiting for you on stage. He's about to cry any moment now. Without you, we can't say any of his lines. Go on. Oh, he's so annoying. Alright, I'll go. You've got to stay and watch, Alicia. Do forgive the children, Alicia. They tend to just speak their mind. Must admit, I'm not too familiar with Columbia. I'm not entirely sure how infected children would be treated. They'd be treated very well. So long as the guardians can afford health insurance. Welcome to America. I see. Children are very fond of you. I'm grateful that you took the time to explain how they should take care of themselves after infection. It's important for them to know. Thank you, truly. I have to give the same lectures to kids back home pretty often. So it's no trouble at all. Honestly, I'd like to thank you for letting me teach them. I thought, since Parliament's on bad terms with pure hard medical, the schools wouldn't let me near the children. Parliament's never forbidden us from reaching out to you though. On the contrary, they tend to approve of this sort of thing as long as we are quiet about it, up to a certain degree. Not just you either. We've also invited Woods Island's doctors over to give the children checkups and lessons. Hey Musty, how are you doing? Did you finish your Delta rune? Did you win? Did you do find all the suspects for your court trial? I'm in pain. A lot. So it was a good time. Parliament knows that children will need assistance. There's only so much that checkups and lessons can do for them. All I need is medicine and treatment. I know, but all we can do now is stay by the side and make sure they are not overcome by fear. At least at the school, they can still live like how they used to. Like regular people. Oh wait. Want to take a shower, but moving hurts a lot. Okay, what actually happened? What happened to your body? But you know, it's nice. It's nice. Would say some stuff in the side story is a bit slow, but I like it. I really admire you, Molly. Back home, the young infected is as energetic as these kids here. It usually means the family is pretty well off. Here, I hear some kids had nowhere to go, so I gave them shelter at the school. I've got them putting on plays, once I bring hope to the people here. That's amazing. You flatter me, Alicia. I'm merely following in the footsteps of those teachers who can no longer return to school. Especially the lady I respect the most. Made a weird motion, now my back is in pain. Oof. Yeah, that sounds bad. I hope it will be better soon. I think you consider everything slow. I wouldn't say that. I guess maybe. I guess it's partly in how Arkansas writes stories, I guess. I would say some parts are not slow. I wouldn't say like chapter 14 or something like that was slow. But yeah, I feel like some stuff they could have condensed probably a bit more. But it is a lot of world building and nice to see. But I guess I do love just saying something is slow. But yeah, I really hope that your back will be fine. Like, the most terrifying thing of growing up, which I guess you will not experience, which it was something that I actually had before, like, started to really take care of my body and working out, is the horrifying fact that one morning you just wake up with back pain. And it lasts like even longer than a whole day. And you're like, I guess it's over. This is my life now, huh? Do you mean Lady Golding? I heard Heidi mention her before. Yeah. By her. Yes, the play we are rehearsing today was the last she ever wrote in this classroom. Like, I guess it is nice wrap up for, you know, we did see those characters and everything. Don't know what happened at all. Man, yeah. But luckily you are a full-time streamer and you don't have to move. Have you considered just installing a toilet in front of your desk? Always get back pain when donating plasma? Huh, interesting. Huh, fair. I assume heat is not helping. It is probably still hot for you, right? It's kinda, I would say, bearable where I am now. Like, it was only short, but we had a short thunderstorm, like, roughly 2 hours ago? That was so nice. Like, even reaching for a drink on a table is pain, man. Love complaining. Hey, it works. There's a storm during the night. I mean, as long as it at least somewhat cools down a bit, it's still nice. But yeah, I'm for sure gonna, like, go work out still earlier tomorrow, since it's still gonna be fucking hot, and at least in the morning it's slightly cooler. Life is suffering, man. Life is suffering. It's a lovely little tale. Two young children go on many adventures to find a foul beast they can chase away any illness, which saves the sickly friend. Lady Heidi once asked me if Lady Golding ever called it a meaningless consolation when she was writing it. But why? Is it alright if I stay and watch them rehearse, Molly? For the sake of the children, and so I can show how much I respect you and your lady. I have a feeling that maybe here, in Londinium, there's still a lot I can do to help. For Lady Golding. For Lady Golding. Let's go. What are we discussing today? Are all the MPs present? Yeah, so you already know that. You already know this is like a fantasy story, because in no way would be any parliament totally full. You cannot tell me that. I mean, okay, I might be biased because of German politics, but in Germany you would never have it that basically in our parliament literally everyone would be there. How much longer until the citywide broadcast? 2 minutes. Oh, are they just broadcasting the whole parliament talk? I guess it makes sense. It's more time efficient. It's good if there's over 50%. Yeah. But hey, then they can keep going. We need to raise the age where you can get pension, stuff like that, because you know what? You can easily keep working as a politician at 70, so clearly you could also work outside in construction or something. Als wenn die Voter increasing the CW. You don't get it. The inflation is hitting them hard, okay? It must be adjusted to inflation. It was an evening close to New Year's. After several long years living in fear, most folk could finally feel at ease and enjoy dinner with their families. Listening to the Speaker of Parliament's podcast together, they even started calling it a dinner time declaration in jest. Pity that dinner didn't taste so good. Testing, testing. Shall I begin? Go ahead. How about you adjust minimum wage for inflation? Don't be ridiculous. Don't be, you know... If one job is not enough for, like, paying all of your food in your apartment, have you just considered getting a second job? Like, come on, man. Don't ask for handouts. You should be asking what you can do for your country, not what your country can do for you. Man, I would be such a great politician. Any more questions? This is Wiener Victoria. I speak of Londinium's parliament. I know it was all the city's residents who took part in resistance during the war, and who yet live. Sorry, Christmas is cancelled. I guess you mentioned New Year's, but you did mention Christmas. Do the people of Terra celebrate Christmas? I guess it would make sense that they don't, because I don't think they have Christianity. We have the Pope. What do the Laterans actually believe in? Do they celebrate Christmas in Laterano? I mean, I guess they are close to Christianity, but there is Santa. Let's go. You know, you don't need Jesus if you're Santa. 2 months ago, we talked out from the midst of tragedy. You believe in the law or something? Fair. I also love the law. Will not shut up? And you tell the speaker started his speech already. On behalf of Parliament, allow me to convey our respect to those heroes who contributed to the war effort. Every citizen, every soldier of the Ducal Alliance, every fighter of the Exemplars. The city will remember each and every one of your deeds, and to honor all those who are no longer with us. The pub falls silent as everyone lifts their cups. To you, my brothers, and to me. Now, Londinium has begun her long road to recovery. Order will be re-established, and those lives once so familiar to us will return. But that's not all. In regards to the Exemplars, those glorious fighters of extraordinary circumstance, Parliament has decided to reserve this unit designation forevermore, so that we may commemorate both the past and the present of these troops. I can hear the children singing, and the retired soldiers singing alongside them. Seems like they're in a good mood. The song they're singing is from the end of the play. The sickly child finally recovers, and together they find happiness. I expected those homeless soldiers to care a lot more about the speaker's speech. Of course they care, but they are of firm belief that the speaker will not abandon them. After all the suffering endured, happiness will surely come, Elisio. Do you believe so? He is probably not that decided on that yet. The Exemplars came together once more for one simple dream. To go home. No matter their status, no matter their standing. Now, this dream of theirs has become reality. We are home now. We have reached the end of the road. Reached the end of the road. Seems the speaker lady really is set on disbanding them. What an idiot. Pulling apart your army of mates. I feel like that is actually kind of a bad choice. I know that, I guess, you know, especially the Dukes would not want Mina to be too powerful and everything, but, you know, probably would not need the whole regiment or anything, especially since it was a lot of civilians. But wouldn't it make it sense for, like, Londinium itself to have a small standing army? I mean, maybe they will have... I mean, I guess Horn is now, like, boss of the defense force and everything, right? But yeah, I feel like it's... would be good to have some more defenses for now, especially since country should be weak and everything. And if it taught me one thing in history is that other nations go like, yippee, there's some nice tasty meal on the platter right now. We can actually get a few cities in. Go get yourself killed, Caster. I have a feeling that won't happen anytime soon. Then, what do you propose you should do with such a motley crew? Gaza should sacrifice herself for the country. I think she disagrees with that. And, you know, this is not very patriotic of you to say that our dukes should just end themselves. They saved our country. Come on, the ducal army saved Victoria. Totally, my man. I mean, haven't you seen how they wanted to stop the Exemplars from entering the city? Those are heroes. Keep chasing the suckers at the kill. Or set the sights on the dukes. You know, having some defense of the dukes sounds reasonable. We've got better things to worry about than the Exemplars. Let's us replenishing our strength as quickly as we can. Focus on that instead. Many former Exemplars have joined the defense force ranks, continuing to protect our homeland. As for those who no longer wish to bear arms, they have the right to enjoy peace alongside their families. Actually, how does actually the military work? So I guess the defense force is just mostly is General Victoria's army, I guess, but also every duke still has their own army and everything, right? So, that surely will not be abused. Parliament promises each and every one of our exemplar comrades a place to settle down. It may take a long time for this to come to fruition, but the door to the Speaker's office is forever open to my friends. I'm afraid it will take a few years to see this through. We've got a long road ahead of you, Wiener. Coming along for dinner, Catherine? Let's refer a few old retired plugs if we brought it back to the factory. I'll be real happy to see you. Sure, I'm just angling for my stash of smokes. I worked real hard to collect them. Fine, I come along. Right, while you're at it, tell everyone to bring a few friends along. Once Parliament helps us restart more factories, the hands we have now won't be enough. I think instead you would prefer to invade some small developing country. Hey, you know... Big country eats small country, that's just what happens. I've played like Europa Universalis before. And should Jervak really be like independent? There's just some mountains or something, I don't know. Once Parliament helps us restart more factories, the hands we have now won't be enough. Hey, the economic boom of a post-war economy is so good. You know what? The civilians are eating good in like 5 years for sure. And I, Wiener Victoria, do promise to every one of the city's residents that in this coming future without a king, Podcast abruptly comes to an end. As it does so, Dagda hears an uproar suddenly echo to the skies above the city. Wait, the cutoff. What's going on at Parliament? Madam Speaker, Madam Delphin, I was fixing up the podcast system. Noticed this old component. It's an ancient scrap. Should have been replaced when His Majesty's Alistair was on the throne. Now, that sounds like government equipment. Who had thought an unremarkable thing like this could still hold up until now? Amanda never told me anything about this. Is this all just an accident? There was suddenly something on the maintenance checklist that wasn't there before. I just followed what the system synced up to me. Sabotage? Ladies and gentlemen, may I sit on this round of parliamentary discussion? Earl of March. Okay, but why an entrance like this? Hello, my name's not hard to remember, Rena. You seem rather surprised to see me here. What? Did no one tell you? It seems the informants have been lax of late, Lady Delphin. Mandinium has no need for informants towards a guest, my lady. The city welcomes every Victorian who loves this land. Lovely to hear. I still love her smug smile, okay? She's totally a toxic Catwoman, but she has that smile going on, okay? This is the smile that dooms hundreds of people to their death. And I suppose you wouldn't mind if I invite a few dukes to revisit an old haunt for a little reunion. Judging by the time, you should be arriving any moment now. Considering the sensitive position, dukes are hesitant to top in on any specific person's home, so I was forced to borrow one of your places. I hope Parliament will understand. You're also welcome to join in, Wiener. And you too, of course, Delphin. But why do it like for that one? Is it not be? I guess it's just a power play, right? To just cut off the podcast and everything like that. I know you're about to leave for Windermere. You have few old friends who hope you could take the condolences for your mother along with you. Helena doffs her hat, greeting Delphin with a smile. Then immediately walks to Wiener's side and lowers her voice. Now, look at those special effects. I loved your speech. A very sensible decision. Yet, far too impatient. There's some things you are free to say to us, but not to the common public. This is for their own good. And yours too. So you were the one who cut our signal. You'll be assembling at the Royal Academy of Sciences, Wiener. Won't take too long, so don't be late. By the by, sometimes there's no need for you to think you haven't done enough. The changes the city has seen are far beyond what I imagined. Well, she did a good job. She probably hasn't slept for like the last 3 days. Okay, it's Academy. I assumed the Quays would have less of an appetite. I've always been a practical lad, Eleanor. You know, might as well eat while I wait. I noticed the Asian on Dinium. A slight wine and fat is already enough to show us the speaker's good faith. Duke of Wellington is absent, yet again. It seems that the alliance between yourself and his Quays not as reliable as we imagined. We all know we're here for more than just pleasantries. Your quiz? Old Wellington would never have come in the first place. He is busy starting a civil war. How do you believe we should treat with Duke of Wellington, Wiener? It has not to do with Londinium. It has not to do with me. Oh, really? Would he really care what you all think? He's always been one to seize the initiative. All I know is that since the battle for the walls ended 2 months ago, the engines of the Gaswell, the other frigates, have not rested for even a moment. Huh. Wellington has been waiting for you to bite. I'm afraid to say that he's very disappointed in you all. Right. But what you see is merely one side of the matter, Delphine Windermere. In old Wellington's eyes, it is still far too early to decide what sort of relationship will exist between Tara and Victoria. In these 2 months, we've had a tacit understanding. As long as nobody moves to break the silence, then silence we shall enjoy. Yippee! I love my Cold Wars. But really, it's Sir Quace over here whose emissaries are always sneaking into Wellington's domain. She's much better qualified than I to speak on the matter, no? Once I return, I've been investigating who has been going against my orders. After we return to Windermere, young Delphine, I would happily welcome some tired guests at the Lindsay Greenery. Whenever you like. Could we dispense with the banalities already? Continue may welcome all Victorians, but we have no time to waste chatting with each and every one of them. There are so many issues affecting our citizens that need urgent handling, all more important than the people sitting here. I'm of course well aware that the sudden Mr. Londinium is also thanks to an tacit understanding. I know that Wellington's only an excuse. Parliament will not interfere in this matter. So if what you're going to discuss next doesn't involve Parliament... Okay, I mean, I do get that she's overburdened and everything, but she should still take... You know... It's good to hear what at least the Dukes would publicly divulge, right? Even if you cannot really trust what they're saying, right, and their plans. I don't need to waste my time here. That's where you're wrong, Mina. The Dukes of Wellington's choice really does have something to do with you. To be more precise, to do with the late king, your late father. 26 years ago, Old Wellington never cast a vote in the matter of how to handle your father. He simply watched in silence as King Alistair was led from the throne to the gallows. Yippee! See, you just don't vote and then you're innocent. That's one way to live. Yeah, he was disappointed. Disappointed in Victoria, disappointed in the Dukes, disappointed in your father. Yeah, man. Imagine just dying like that. From that moment on, the tug of Tara's undercurrent has never ceased. Duke Windermere never mentioned any of this to me. Your mother didn't care. My mother regretted executing the king. Sorry, Mina. No, I didn't mean anything untoward. It was because old Wellington himself will never come to Londinium. Doesn't mean that he has no interest in the city, or in you. For the time being, we still do not know his true intentions. But just because the throne has sat idle for many years, does not mean Victoria needs no king. Sounds like that instead needs is a parliament. Wiener does not understand where Eleanor is going with this. She already made clear her views long ago. The kingship, the crown, they were never what she needed. Bloody hell, Wiener. Patrols has come by your office to tell you. The crown's been stolen from the throne room. Okay, that is rude. Pardon. It seems our meeting must be postponed, Speaker Victoria. There are side matters that require attention. We need help, Wiener. You know where to find me. chances are we'll be troubling you a little longer, Madam Speaker. You sodding... Well, I guess it makes sense that... I do wonder what would be the best move to do. Like, even if she doesn't really want to be the king, like... I guess even if she would do it so she would still be kinda puppet of the dukes with no real power, right? This was only before, that's... Can't believe they do make events like this, that's not... Oh, this only has an after? Man, maybe... Okay, this is a lot of cope, I don't think we will finish it today then, but... Let's go, baby. I don't like the throne room in the Palace of Vestalek. It's empty and bleak. That lonely throne just sitting there. I can imagine what it'd be like if Rena actually sat on it. One woman on that cold, lifeless chair, staring at the barren steps. Knowing Rena, she wouldn't last a minute there. I'd bet on it. You know, I feel like a throne room like this is very impractical. Did you find the crown? Where is it? It's worn. Yippee. I didn't find it per se. Someone delivered it to the speaker's office. I can't determine the precise time it was lost, but you're fairly certain it happened after your speech started. You already placed the crown on that empty throne. So what's the point of stealing it? Was this an order from the dukes? I don't think so. The dukes are never of one mind. They each have their own agenda. However, for the crown to go missing at the same time they're visiting Londinium, that's far too much of a coincidence. But according to what you've told us, isn't that crown just an old, rusted hunk of iron now? Not exactly, Morgan. To many people, the crown is extremely important, no matter its current state. It's been left untouched for over 20 years. But the people have not forgotten about it. In fact, they're more eager than ever for its return. They're waiting for a wise new monarch to put on his/her head. Someone who can dispel the shadow hanging over Victoria. This is such a small thing. But why did the localization go with this way to localize that sentence? Couldn't you have just said their head? I do know that I think Chinese specifically doesn't really have neutral gender term, do they? I know at least a lot of the Asians language have it. Well, don't have it. No, most people are just desperate for a miracle. Something that can satisfy their craving for royal authority. I cannot deny that. Thus, have you listened to the voices for ages? You have listened to the voices for ages, Rena. Identity is truly unique. Descendant of the royal family, and a bona fide war hero who was nonetheless raised on the streets. It's no wonder so many people naturally feel drawn to you. Now that Parliament is up and running, and the Dukes have finally relinquished their authority, people are all the more convinced that you've secured universal support. Next step is plain as day. But the Dukes have no intentions of doing anything like that. Public only cares about the outcome, Morgan. Yes, I understand that since the day we returned home, unfortunately, sometimes I'm still very good at letting people down. Hey, you know? Have your own limits, you know? Set your own boundaries. Even if you're a political figure. Thank you for sharing the energy bars, Elisio. I'd gladly undergo daily sampling if I get tasty treats like this every time. Man, You can't bribe everyone with good food. That's just how the world works. Are these really things you can just buy off the shelf in Colombia? Why do Colombians stock up on stuff like this? Is it for catastrophe or something? These bars are my own personal thing. Food is fuel. It's about energy and nutrition. Energy bars are convenient, so why not? Actually, Marcy, are you still around? One thing I've been wondering, I assume Elisio is from some other event or something, right? I guess he would maybe be in a Colombia event or something. I know that there's an operator of him. I have seen, or at least I think I've seen him before when I went to support operators at some point. But yeah, I think this event was Catherine that we got, right? So yeah. Food is fuel. It's about energy and nutrition. Energy bars are convenient, so why not? Then again, Yan definitely disagrees with me on this. He's more of a foodie. I understand. We're thankful just to fill our bellies on Dinium these days. I guess we might have also just been on the banner with Wiener. I guess. I actually don't remember if he is a 5-star or a 6-star. He's probably a 5-star. Her Royal Highness Alexandrina has worked very hard to ensure that we have enough food to eat. Quit yapping his ear off, will you? Thank you, Elisio, for these energy bars. But we'd best be on our way now. Stanley, you're not afraid that Elisio will? Of course not. Surely I can be arguing with you about such stupid things in front of someone else, right? That's not proper. Huh? He doesn't like when I refer to Alexandrina as Her Royal Highness, that's all. He and I don't see eye to eye politically. I think having a king again wouldn't be half bad, but he insists life was worse for us when the monarchy was still in power. But think about it, whether it was back then or right now, aren't we managing to get by all the same? Oh, excuse me. I don't know what it actually is. I guess it's some voice I'm making for a second. I feel like I have this problem more during Agnes than when I voice like Limbus. Where sometimes I kinda get such hiccups. I guess maybe how I think in between or something here. So you're saying the presence of a monarch doesn't really impact your life all that much? Doesn't matter what she thinks. Even if someone does ascend the throne again, it's not like we'll be invited to the coronation feast. Stanley, I'm going to come up with an argument that actually convinces me. Sorry about this, Elisio. I need to talk some sense into this stubborn mule. Oh, by the way, about the increased patrols in the city. I've heard a rumor. Supposedly, someone stole the crown and the defense forces are investigating anyone who might be connected with the theft. Let's go, Stanley. Goodbye, Elisio. Come to think of it, Dana has never mentioned the king or the crown. Not even once. Maybe I should ask her about it when I get back. Elisio, you should take a break. You've been working nearly non-stop, helping collect patient data. Yeah, but he gonna be rich. The city is infected or experienced acute infection around the same time, only showing rare pathological progressions. I need to document this valuable data thoroughly. Whether it's for future research into neuropathy or developing targeted treatments for Dinium citizens. This data is critically important. By the way, Sarah, why didn't Diana visit you today? Diana? I thought she was helping you. One of my old comrades came by the sanitarium today. I wanted to ask if anything unusual had come up recently. I'm hoping to bring Diana along for the reunion with them. Curious. Throughout the whole year, Vina never told us where she found that crown. But it didn't matter. None of us cared. No one would ever see that hunk of iron again. It was supposed to remain sealed in the throne room in the palace of Vestalic, left to corrode and decay into nothing. The age of kings is over and done. That's what the drunken Vina said to me, with her arm slung around my neck. And yet, barely 2 months later, here it is again, staring us in the face. The ghost of this ancient empire refuses to let go. It's always ready to claim its next victim. Let's go, it's Grimpus. Well, for the Europeans, it's Christmas. Imagine celebrating Christmas on the 25th. SMH. Does anyone else know about this? Taking steps to contain the information, we'll do everything we can to minimize this impact. So, what do we do with this thing? Morgan points at the battered crown sitting on the desk. This is my first time seeing it up close. I can't believe so many people are fretting over this old thing. Vina? Vina? Notice that Vina isn't looking at the crown at all. She's actually standing silently by the desk. Her gaze fixed on the dejected figure sitting in the chair across from here. The one who stole the crown. You really have no questions for me, Madam Speaker? I reckon many of you have fanciful notions about me. Besides, my colleagues will soon have a more complete and objective report delivered to my desk regarding this matter, so... Don't let me in with those people! All they care about is the phone itself. They care about the one on the phone. You know exactly what I'm doing? I'm well aware of every new law Parliament has enacted, Speaker Vina. Unauthorized entry to the phone chamber is indeed a serious crime. I'm not planning to deny anything. Vina shakes her head. That doesn't mean you're fundamentally different from those people. The provisional court will try your case according to the law. Oh, come on. Do you have any further objections? No, Madam Speaker. Delphine, I leave the rest to you. I personally return the crown to the phone room, make sure security is tightened up. And then I need to prepare the report for the council meeting. My report. I didn't have to do all that siege. Know all too well how inefficient Parliament is. Just a group of individuals all looking out for their own self-interest. You must already be exhausted. Just from dealing with all those MPs, no? I'm doing there's no need for a speaker operating at the whims of Parliament. What Lindium needs is a real, absolute leader who can guide the city to its transformation. Nina, there's no point in arguing with her about this meaningless stuff. I know, Delphine. Madame, are you suggesting that Londinium needs a dictator? To be fair, okay, hear me out. Hear me out. You know, dictatorships kinda bad. We can agree on that. I think we all agree on that. Yes? Yeah, yes. But they are a lot more efficient than having to go to a parliament, especially in the situation after war or something like that, when they need to rebuild. Now, very easy that, you know, dictatorship transcends tyranny, but... No, I'm talking about the king. Victoria needs a king. I can guess what you want to do, Madam Speaker. You are unlike any ruler I've ever known. You even care about your own lineage. But if you wish to achieve your vision, Speaker, it won't be enough. This crown should not, and will not, become an obstacle to you. He stands up, giving Vina a crisp salute. This is all I have to say on this matter. I give my thanks to the Exemplars and to Siege for all you've done for our homeland. I'm fond of the changes he's undergone and firmly believe she'll become an even better leader in the future. Just the same that her transformation is still so slow. I won't live to see that day myself. Let's go, Lady Delphin. Where should we head next? You really know what I wish to do. You want to change Victoria? No. You want to defeat her. You want to defeat the Victoria of the past. Venus stands at the foot of the staircase, holding the crown in her hands as she gazes at the throne. Besides the throne, a golden lion lays sprawled, his eyelids drooping halfway. Is he the security? I guess he would still have other security, but it makes sense that's how they did at least somewhat see that the crown was stolen. Given, you should have told me sooner. Step by step, she ascends the staircase until she reaches the throne. Instead of sitting on it, she sits on the steps before it. The lion doesn't seem to open his eyes. The sandal breath pushes through its mane, sending up faint specks of dust. He is displeased. I'm sorry, Gavin. I had another sleepless night. Still so many foreign issues left unresolved. She feels the warmth at her back. The golden lion has moved closer. His massive body is now supporting her. Just like it had when she was a child. Vina catches a whiff of sunlight. Gavin, how nice it would be to fall asleep leaning against you like this. Walking all the way back here from outside the city feels like a dream. It's been so long since I've had a good night's sleep, let alone a deep, satisfying dream. The lion lifts his head slightly, brushing against Vina's golden hair, tickling her just enough to make her smile faintly. Chill in the air sends a shiver through her, jolting her back to clarity. Has it always been this cold here? It's not time to rest yet, is it? What we're doing now still falls far short. There's not enough medicine, not enough food, and endless arguments. Sometimes I wish I could just rip off this uniform, knock those idiots down one by one. Maybe things would be much simpler that way, huh? Defeat the Victoria of the past. If only it were as simple as a match in the ring. The golden lion closes his eyes, drifting off to sleep, though his tail is lazily swatting against Venus' arm. Teacher, I'm sorry for complaining to you again. There's some things I don't know how to explain to Morgan and others. You wouldn't understand, and don't want to make them worry. As for Delphin, don't want to show too much doubt or vulnerability in front of her. She's already taken on so much from me, and pinned so many expectations on me. There are already so many people counting on me, Gavin. While heavy is the crown, even if you're not actually wearing it, I don't want to let them down. She shuts her eyes and grips the crown. King, Speaker. These titles mean nothing to her. She just wants Mina, I knew I'd find you here. Wait, are you just asleep, or... No, I was just thinking about something, given he essentially turns the head to the side, but there's no one there. That warmth remains unmistakable. He's gone. Thank you for being here with me, Gavin. Martin, what are you doing here? I've been convinced the Provisional Court to hold the Crown Thief in the Defense Force's detention quarters for now. Full report on her's out now. Didn't want to waste time, so I came straight to you. Here's the report. Name is Dan Weber. Morgan pauses, watching Wiener closely for reaction, but Wiener simply looks at her with curiosity, waiting for her to continue. She didn't just decide to steal the crown out of the blue. She's been working with a pharmaceutical rep from Colombia. Huh. But for a while now, helping spread awareness about oropathy infection protection methods. It's all she learned when the guards patrolling outside the palace of Westphalic would change shifts. Once she got inside, she waited until your speech and slipped into the throne room. Then, she stayed here for quite a while, at least half an hour. What did she do in there? I don't know, and she won't say. Maybe she was hesitating. Maybe she just got lost in thought. In any case, the man shall make off with the crown without alerting anyone. Wait, something doesn't add up here. He's dead in the throne chamber for so long. She didn't run into the patrols after the shift change? No, she didn't. Even she was surprised by how easily she escaped. She thought for sure the patrols would catch her. Yeah, who helped her? That's curious. Someone must have helped her. Was it one of the guests? Unclear, but if she had help, she didn't know about it. She came up with this whole plan herself. But why? Just to bring the crown to me and goad me into... Her name is Sienna Weber. I know. Don't remember her. I could think she looked familiar. When I saw the report, I realized it's her. Huh? Remember that day when the Alliance surrounded us on our doorstep? The first soldier to defy orders and escort us forward? Hey, Olsey. How are you doing? How is work going? I will slurp. I did slurp. Wiener recalled the sky that day, filled with steam, the lingering smell of smoke and gunpowder. The soldier whose face had become a blur in her memory. This is Lieutenant D.N. Weber of the 6th Column, 10th Infantry Regiment. Lower your weapons, soldiers, and escort the exemplars in their advance. Before I was a soldier, I was a Londinier. This is my home too. Go siege. The fight is not yet over. We will take back what is ours. You know, very understandable that she would want her on the phone. Anything is better than the Dukes for sure. Jana Weber, the soldier who defeated the Duke of would defy the Dukes of Caster's orders. She concentrated on acute infection and the final battle against the Nachtseher King. Whip. I guess she kinda just wants to see it in her lifetime, and that's why she's pursuing it. That rings a bell? She was the one who took the size of kings from you and charged towards the Nachtseherers. Man. She doesn't have much time left. We're short of oropathy suppressions. I should never got enough medicine to slow her condition. We took a look at her, but... Brown let out a faint metallic creak. Wiener's hands tied around it. Looks so fragile. Yet its resilience is undeniable. She really loved our home, and she loved Victoria as well. That's why she volunteered to join the Ducal forces. Wanted to defy their orders and got forced into retirement. Yeah, that makes sense. We trusted you, even though I don't agree with some of your ideas. Mina, maybe we could... Okay, at least please don't punish her too harshly, okay, man? Never finished asking for mercy on Diana's behalf. Vina knew what I wanted to say. I knew how she would respond. No, I knew what Speaker Vina Victoria would say. Even now, I can't imagine what have must been going through Diana Webber's head when she made that crazy decision. I admire her. Even though she stole the crown, she did it out of love for Victoria. I don't understand. Just coming back to the city. So many things have changed. Changed in ways I can fathom and don't want to understand. On that day, I finally made up my mind. From the end of that final battle outside the Palace of Vestalic until now, I've lingered here far too long. Maybe it's time to go home, back to the boxing gym. I mean, somebody needs to look out for the Glasgow gang. But yeah, this was only one. Okay, I'm curious. That's a two-parter. This also has to be a two-parter. Yeah, okay, makes sense. Oh yeah, let's continue. Actually, maybe it's a good opportune time to at least take one break. So we will be back in 3 minutes, and then we can see Venus struggle more if she should be actually the king of Victoria or not. Be right back. Hello. Sip. How depressing will this be? Will Wiener be the king at the end? Auch direkt Frontlines. Death awaits at the end. My liege watches death. Watches you. Well, but what if we just kill death? It's that easy, baby. Captain, the target has been neutralized. But our remaining ammunition is estimated to last only 2 more minutes. We need our next set of orders. All units, prepare for close quarter combat. Hold the line for the next 2 minutes. I'll cover your retreat. Siege, our artillery support is running out. Bombardment will end in 3 minutes. What is the situation on your side? We can clear this Nachtzehrer fog. These things have severed the supply routes our workers cleared for us. Can't get supplies to your position quickly enough. Prepare to retreat from T1. Negative. Abandoning T1 will create a gap in our encirclement, and the Alliance forces will break through from our side. Captain, I can't accept that. This battlefield isn't a place for heroics. Honor your orders. Send a distress signal to our friends at Woods Island. Now we have to trust the doctor and the plan. Soldiers, meet at home. Do everything you can to survive. Only then can we take back what we've lost. Siege. We'll hold the line for the final 2 minutes. Then we try to regroup and assist you in clearing out the creatures in the fog. Bagpipe, keep them safe. Hey, Captain. The fog can't be dispersed. Don't wait for us. Add to I-12 and rendezvous with Gotterdin's 106th Assault Brigade. Keep fighting. Understood. I'll be seeing you soon, Captain. Awooga. No, that's probably what I do on the battlefield, right? Look out, Siege. It's a Confessarius chimeras. Everyone, prepare to retreat. It set itself up. Anna, watch out for its flames. Ooh, it hurts. Mina, are you alright? Everyone else, fall back. I can't allow any more needless sacrifices. Wait. Where did this backup came from? Anti-witchcraft cannon has struck the target. Enemy movement disrupted. Remaining squads continue setting up anti-witchcraft cannons. Mission objective: eliminate threats within the fog. Badly forces at T1, hold your position. Emergency supplies will arrive at your location in 3.5 minutes. Exemplar T1 combat team. Message received. Please identify your unit. Duke of Normandy's 8th Grenadier Battalion. Under orders to support the Exemplars. Duke of Normandy? 8th Grenadier Battalion? One, you know anything about this unit? They're not under direct command of the Duke of Normandy. Report to the Earl of March. Ah. Lieutenant's command force. Foley has an exceptional grasp of our intelligence operations. To be expected from someone born into a military family. There is it, the smug smile. Lieutenant, keep Her Royal Highness Exentvina safe. As for your Highness, please accept this small gift. Once all these matters are resolved, I'll visit you in person, Wiener. Siege, do you know the Earl of March? No, we never met, but her name was mentioned in some of the information sent to me. It doesn't matter now. Reinforcements, we should be able to reopen the supply line. One, we'll meet again soon. At last, it's time to bring all of this to an end. Finally. The crowd cheers. Phew. She gazes at a shard in the distance, and the faintly visible pulse of Vestalek. calmer than she has ever been. Triangle, cello, oboe. Tempest platoon, I won. Watch closely. As we scatter the dark clouds over Londinium. The members of the exemplar T1 combat team, hear this. Hold your ground. Do not give them a single inch. Watch her that. I mean, I guess they were with the backs to the wall, but I don't get how the Sarkas kept the morale up at this point, basically, into the war. Like, it really sounds like Faris is just noped out at this point already, right? Captain, Block 18. Just uploaded a scan of the last segment of our route to PRTS. Did you receive it? Got it. Rock, already repairing the final track shift node. Given the current damage level, how long until the repairs are complete? 10 minutes. Located Quanny yet? We need to retrieve that weapon as soon as possible. The exemplars will need our support on the front line. Still trying to pinpoint the correct location. The signals we found over the past few days were all decoy beacons were left behind. It might take a bit more time to re-establish contact. At least it means Quanny's team is still safe for now. Captain, if we can get in touch with Catherine, what should we do? Use this passage to transport as much of Hyper's remaining supplies as possible to... He got exploded. Captain? There he goes. Is everyone okay? Where did those soul cars come from? It was all this artillery fire I just heard. The smoke shifts, and a small amber glimmers brightly in the depths of the haze. The amber of a cigarette. Familiar, acrid smell his Feist's nose and makes his eyes sting. I keep telling you, when you're busy working, you also get to watch your back. Welcome home, Pratt. Quanny, we've been looking for you all this time. I know. When someone told me the passage was being repaired, I figured it was you. That's... He spots a massive shadow in the depths of the smoke. Remember the blueprints he left behind? Took some effort with the Sarkas blockade and all. We finally managed to build your big machine. The crawler. Let's go. Now that is what will improve our morale. The Dean secret underground passage. I know you're there. The earring has grown rather warm. Those workers who came to support the Self-Salvation Corps earlier. It was your doing, wasn't it? Shh. Don't disturb my friends. Still, thank you for taking good care of little Garnet for me, kitten. And thank you for cleaning up those filthy rocks Ducari left behind. Yeah, you can have this back. I have more important things to deal with. Have to find that hunk of sheet metal again. He wouldn't want to miss this battle. Thank you for saving me earlier. Farewell. Where are you off to next? Ooh, Ascalon time. Yippee. To meet with him. Not going to help Dame Calcite? Find me and Lucas there. Nothing will happen. I wait for them beneath the palace of Astalik. It's his last known location as far as I know. Your Highness is gone. It's time to put the past to rest. Your wounds. Insignificant. You don't need to involve yourself in the frontline work anymore. Take care of yourself. Don't you understand how powerful I am by now, Wan? Done quite a bit from us back in the day, didn't ya? Bringing you into the city was the most I could do. Whatever is between you and the Regent. Most Riverside will no longer be involved. Good. Where will you go next? I'll keep tracking her down. She disappeared so suddenly, abandoning Her Highness at the most critical moment. That demands an explanation. One of our sharp-eyed sisters managed to track her. She left Londinium. She's still heading west. Their destination is unclear. Who are we talking about? When you catch her, will you bring her back or kill her? She goes all the way back canoes an explanation. But you want? You'd worry about yourself first. The region is close at hand. The Riverside canoes swore not to get involved with anything related to Babel anymore. However, helping an old acquaintance doesn't break the rules. A smear of blood is a gift and a blessing. Less pain and fewer scars. Safe travels, Ascalon. You really have to wipe it on my neck. Not my fault you always hide your face so well under the hood. Look better this way. Oh, by the way, I forgot to ask. What do you think of that kitten? I mean, mixed feelings. He does not emerge from the shadows, and the wind carries her voice. My judgment is unnecessary. When the dust settles, the truth will reveal itself. Well, she will be wanted criminal. Let's go. We are all the same. Even today, many still argue about when exactly the war ended. Some say it was when the Nachtzahl King fell at the gates of the palace of Vestalic. Others say it was when the Sagas fully withdrew from Londinium. As someone who lived through it, I've been asked quite frequently about my opinion. Luckily, I share the exact same view as Wiener. The war ended the moment we found the courage to take the sword from Wiener's hand and wield it against the Nachtzahl King ourselves. We fought back, we destroyed with our own hands. The enemies would try to wound us, we never needed a singular hero. That day, everyone who fought for her home and her future was a hero, and now they are slowly dying of alcoholism and drug dependency. Everyone, no matter your unit number, which squad you belong to, or which duke you serve, I love that she's a lot. Beautiful. There's no retreating now. Support the allied forces. Why should we lag behind in this lot? Quick, go help the exemplars. Captain, my weapon's broken. Take mine. If it breaks, grab another. If there's none left, change the blade from the devils and keep fighting. Advance! Advance! For Victoria! For Victoria! Just as pictured. Soldier, you should not continue this assault empty-handed. Take this sword. But this is the size of kings. I can't possibly... It belongs to your Royal Highness. No, it belongs to Victoria. On the wreckage of the glorious, trusted allies passed the sword from hand to hand until it reached me, completing its mission. Now, take it from my hand. Let it reach the hands of everyone who needs it. Let this mission continue anew. This is your right as a Victorian. Man. She had a baller speech, just saved up for the occasion, huh? But if you take the sword, what will your Royal Highness use? Hammer. Packsword, big ass hammer. I still have my hammer. I will not stop. I'll stay with you until the end. The early morning sun breaks through the dark clouds. The golden-haired feline and the Victorian stand together. The soldier grips the sword tightly, the gaze locked on to the determined Aslan, despite the blinding sunlight. She refuses to look away, for she sees the thousands of Victorians rallied behind her, fighting for the same cause. She sees the king walking alongside her people. As you bid. All survivors of the 6th Column 10th Infantry Regiment, advance with me! For Victoria! May the Aslands they keep our king. She cuts down 2 Nachtseher Royal Court elites and the caster. Her plate bears 2 new notches. His people and all his village. However, she's too gravely injured to continue. She passes the sword on. The worker equips the sword and passes forward. He perishes alongside a Royal Court elite whip, while leaving yet another notch on the plate. And give them grace without them dying. An infected picks the sword up from the pool of blood. He does not defeat any enemies, instead protecting it with her body. In so doing, she protects the Victoria and hope itself. Man. I mean, probably the right thing to do in the moment, but imagine us dying for a sword. Then maybe call and safely sing, Victoria, give thanks for our home. Okay, I mean, this is peak. Finally, the sword pierces the Nachtseher king, after Richard disappeared into the chaos of the battle. To this day, we still don't know who the final hero to wield the sword was, or whether they're still alive. But one thing is certain, the sword fulfilled its mission. The Victorians wielded the blade against the invaders. But its legend didn't end there. Say it was the workers who recovered the broken sides of kings from the blood and mud. As for the rest of the story, well, every child in Londinium can sing it loud and clear. Where is actually the sword now? Did Twina keep it? I forgot. I think we saw it at some point. I mean, I guess it would make sense. Shouldn't see. Yeah, I guess he probably kept it. I don't see any more Nachtsevers. Is this battle finally over? But this blasted fog hasn't let up one bit. Something's not right. The suckers are attacking under the cover of the thick fog like before. Is this a trap? Based on our previous encounters with the Nachtseher army, they are far more elusive than they seem. What do you suppose we should do next? Coordinate with the main allied forces, hold off on advancing rashly, and minimize unnecessary casualties until we get a clearer read on the situation. Alright, sound strategy. Doctor, send the orders to all of our troops. I'll pass it on to the Alliance commanders, as well as closer and others. Hey! Did not even get a frequency right. Huh? We're already live? Yeah, everybody, listen up. Rebels captured the military commission's command center. The bastards don't know their heads from their asses right now, but it's got it in them to help out the crusty old Nachtseher gang. So quit wasting time and get those feet moving. I don't care if you believe me or not, just go and get this over with. Oh, and by the way, you might wanna look up. The old hack was too big this time. Delphine. We traced the transmission. Seems the communication was received in several different frequencies. Both the allies and the Sarkas probably heard it. That voice, it was... Visitor. Sounds like they've been busy. But kind of fast that everybody just accepts the name change for sure. But hey, you know what? I appreciate it. Come on, please reassess the situation. Mina, Look at the sky, its eyes turn upwards, and soon they hear the sound of steam bursting at full force, echoing above the palace of Vestalic. Victoria! Victorian army boils. It's Charles Lynch. He's gone into the fog. I can hear the commotion inside the clouds. He's battling the Nachtseherers. On. The morale is currently high. Alliance has yet to make any major moves. Clearly, Dukes are still hesitating. There feels to be causes of intelligence from an unknown source. If Woods Island was visited, then so do I. It was you as well, Siege. Go tell everyone to get ready. What's going on? Did you hear that sound? Right beneath our feet. The Exemplars. We meet at last. Wait a minute, Wiener. I'm seeing the things. Am I seeing things? Or did it giant? I think there's burrow out from underground. Or is this the steam? Do we actually see the steam? Oh, it's. Or this. You know, that might be better than a steam knight. A giant thing? No, it has a name. The Crawler. My grandson designed it. Pretty good, huh? The gray-haired pilot blows a smoke ring, standing proudly on the ladder of the massive machine. It has 4 massive steam-powered hydraulic legs, encased in protective armor that bears the unmistakable signs of a worker's handiwork. Smoke is still billowing from its enormous black cannon barrel, a clear sign that it was the one responsible for the massive hole in the ground. A steady stream of Self-Salvation Corps members emerged from the gaping hole beneath the crawler, carrying combat supplies up to the surface. You... Siege. Thank goodness. We made it here in time. Starting now, the Self-Salvation Corps will join forces with you. With Quanny and her team helping out, we have a much greater chance of victory. Just got that message ourselves. It seems the timing is spot on. Victoria thanks you. On? All clear. Preparations are complete. We're ready to move out at any time. Good. Everyone, it's the final battle, and we're all here. The defense made along the way. Wait a minute. There's still one thing left. I need to adjust the cannon. There. That should do it. Cover your ears. The cannon strikes a giant bell at the center of Auchterich, an ancient relic that had stood for centuries. The bell tolls, loud, clear and beautiful, followed by the sound of the Alliance war horns and their furious battle cries. We've got to let certain people know we're here. You're in command now. Victorians, charge forth to our final victory! That was it before, I think. So, victory and victory we trust. Victory. In the boxing ring, victory is about honor and glory. On the battlefield, victory is about lives saved and lost. Nachtseher King's death terrified everyone who saw it. I don't want to think about it now, I'll just include it in my book. That sarcasm won't get an eulogy for me. But I'll forever honor the last Steam Knight, Sir Charles Lynch. How long has it been since he's moved? 10 minutes. No one dares approach Charles Lynch. Everyone gathers around the last Steam Knight, down on the knee in a show of respect. Couldn't have done it without you, crazy bastard, for sure. He stands tall and unwavering before the palace of Vestalic, Steam gushing from every crack in his armor. Scorching, unrelenting. Like the sound of a beating heart. How can he still be standing with such curious wounds in a battle with the Nachtseher King? It was never his body alone that kept him upright. I would have never made it out of the Mausoleum of Kings. Mina walks towards the Steam Knight, as everyone else watches on. Mina, don't get too close to him. He's off his rocker. I have to know for sure. But I almost killed you back in the underground, Vina. Let her do it. Something's not right with the Steam Knight, so Charles. She'd probably sense it too. He's perishing. He saved his country, now he can die. But faster. Vina approaches the Steam Knight. She can feel the temperature rise from the hot steam. Never seen you like this, not even back in the Mausoleum of Kings. This war's over. You've protected Victoria. You've completed your mission. What are you still searching for? The sword? Sorry. I saw somewhere on the battlefield. Or perhaps you're waiting for something else? Vina gently touches Sir Charles' armor. Every scratch and mark etched into that tells the Steam Knight's story. The battle with his comrades on the day he swore to inherit the title. The battle on the frontier to quell uprisings. He survived amidst a storm of witchcraft. Betrayal in the Mausoleum of Kings. The charge towards the glorious, towards Originum. The charge has never fallen. Well, we will make sure that he will perish though. He was part of the boss. I wonder why. Well, I guess we really will see. The child Lynch shall forever watch over Victoria. You're looking at the Palace of Westhallic. I understand now. I'm not the only one. Many more are looking over at the palace. Vina looks back at the gathered Victorians in the distance. Wounded, silent, excited, weeping. People had already formed a long human wall on their own, holding back the rest of an agitated crowd. All mirroring different names. Siege, Vina, Alexandrina, Victoria. I never believed you'd gone mad. So Charles, this is our second official meeting. I once hoped that if you found your way out of the darkness, you would find something worth protecting. I think you did. Already made it this far. Please wait a little longer until I return. Vina walks past the Steam Knight, up the steps of the Palace of Westhallic, and alone to its door. Time slowly passes. At first, the crowd is silent, but gradually the stir as unrest begins to spread. Why is it taking so long? Could there be other enemies inside? Should he go and help? Right. Have faith in Her Royal Highness Alexandrina. And you see that even the Steam Knight is waiting here in silence? I fear the crown is still inside. Do you think that when she comes out, we'll have a new king? Something's not right here. Based on our intelligence, there shouldn't be any more of the Military Commission's forces left. There should be nothing left in that palace. I mean, you could always leave behind some nice traps. We're just gonna stand here like idiots? Or let us go in and see for ourselves? I go. There are better choices. Well, you're the only ones who can drive the crawler. As long as we've got the crawler, we've nothing to fear. We'll be protected even against the Steam Knight. You did build a cool mecha, I give you that. I still say that I do like the Steam Knights more. But I take it. Vina never told us what she saw in the Palace of Westhallic. Hey, Fossil, how are you doing? and we never asked twice about it either. It doesn't matter. I just believe that once the military commission's banner fell from atop the palace, Vina didn't actually walk out wearing the crown. Good, that's nice to hear. That's my Vina. At least, that's how I felt at the time. Is it your Vina still? I'm just reading through this event since I did the stages when the event was rerun. But yep, did not read it because spoilers. It's pretty neat. I feel like part of it could have been of the main story chapter. But I do love my Vina. There she is. She's coming out. Where's the crown? Why isn't she wearing the crown? Because she doesn't want to be king. Riot, you moron. She hasn't been coronated yet. Why would she be wearing the crown already? What's that in her hands? Is that a devil's flag? What chapter is this again? This plays like directly after chapter 14. This is the Vina Victoria event. What was it called? It's ending a grand overture. That was the name. Yeah. Good people of Victoria, the Nachtseher king is dead. I've torn down this flag that the enemy has stabbed into the heart of our great Londinium. We will tear down every Sarkaz banner left in our home, drive out every enemy still consumed by their bloodlust. But please, spare the unarmed ones, spare anyone willing to surrender. The war is over. We must not avenge slaughter with more slaughter, or meet hatred with more hatred. I, Vina Victoria, wish to speak to all the heroes who have fought to defend our Victoria. Hear me, we have liberated Londinium, liberated Victoria. In these coming days, months, and years, we must revive Victoria. We shall revive Victoria. Vina raises a hammer aloft for all to see. Yippee! Time to slave away in the factories. The people rise to their feet, and a wave of cheers spreads outwards from the center, each surge louder than the last. Londinium and her citizens celebrate her rebirth. At the center of the crowd, the last Steam Knight lets out his final roar, steam bursting forth. His heart stops beating. Well, I guess his can't be safe now. She ignites it with the suit's burning core. His vision blurs, so he clears it with steam hot enough to melt flesh. Is there even man still left in this armor? Then Sir Charles sees it. Victoria's flag basking in the sun's golden glow. Sir Charles Lynch can finally fall. But what about her? He falls to the light of dawn, to a new beginning. Steam completely envelops Sir Charles' enormous body, making his demise unceremonious and almost unnoticed. Why was he part of the boss fight then? Amidst the cheering crowd, a figure walks into the cloud of steam. Adele bids farewell to the hero she once so deeply admired. You could have killed me back then. The despicable meeting her end at the hands of her hero. What would have been the perfect ending to her story? So why must the despicable be the one to bid farewell to the hero? Because that is what life is like. Yippee! Sir Charge, you have completed your mission. My father once taught me that every Steam Knight returning triumphantly from his mission would have a squire to remove his armor and wipe away the dust. Yeah, I don't know if you actually would want to remove the armor at this point. Allow me to remove your armor. That's long fused with your body. there's just one big blob of mold. Or temperature dropping. I will keep your core. I promise that your heart will never stop burning. Will bear witness to Victoria's future. Sir Charge, you have seen the things you hope to protect, restored to the former brilliance. If you have any final words, good Steam Knight. Man, he kinda deserved the better. He did his best in the end. From this day forward, you'll be honored as a Steam Knight. Sir Charles Lynch, tell me, what do you want for your reward? Your Majesty, I wish for your blade to always be sharp. I wish for the wheat my wife harvests to fill the granary by our doorstep year after year. I wish to hold my newborn daughter in my arms and fly over Londinium, gazing down at the factories, bustling day and night throughout the city. I wish for my neighbor, whose legs were crippled by illness, to stand again. Let's go. We got miracle healing, so we can drink, sing and celebrate to the night with our comets we know so well. Your Majesty, what I wish for is a life of lasting peace. If this reward requires me to fight for it myself, then, Your Majesty, I pledge to you, we will always keep fighting. For you, for all my loved ones, for myself, and for Victoria. Victoria. The oath of Sir Charles Lynch. Final words of the last Steam Knight. Never abandoned yourself, even when Victoria abandoned you. Steam Knight. I don't deserve the title, nor the set of armor. You know, but that is where you take it and actually do good in the world. So has already claimed too many lives. I hope yours is the last. Goodbye, Sir Charles Lynch. Yeah, sorry, now people will first starve to death. We have people dying to overpathy. There will be a lot more people still dying. Listen, they're all bidding you farewell. Victoria! Victory! Victoria! For Victoria! Victoria's final hoarse whisper merges with the crowd shouting, like raindrops quietly dropping into the sea. Alde sees the excited faces in the crowd, yet cannot help falling into silence. Her eyes are drawn to the woman standing on the steps. Vina. She knows Vina can see her as well. Vina just stands there, looking back at her, her lips moving slightly. Did she recognize me? Lauderdale's eyes. You made a right choice. You're standing exactly where you belong. As am I. Londinium does not need any more heroes, Vina. Okay, that is a baller CG though. Honestly, her design and everything is so cool. He turns and walks away, disappearing into the wide billows of steam. Why are you looking at, Vina? The Steam Knight is gone. He has completed his mission. It's Steam. I thought it was like last time. This time is different. There's no need to bother him. Someone's already seeing him off. Alright. Celebration and mourning. Vina, what should we do next? The people stand cheering in front of the palace of Vastalek, They all look to Vina. They're waiting for you. And I will show them all, Delphine. This is the parliamentary chamber. Quimper's time. Is this the speaker's answer? He sent you, her old comrades, to drive us away? No. Guarding this innocent is one of the Defense Force's responsibilities. Justice is justice, Hoff. Heroes shouldn't be treated this way. Yana and all the exemplars who pled don't deserve this, do they, Commander? I mean, I for sure hope this will be lenient. I mean, I guess you said it was kinda a big crime, right? But, she at least returned the crown herself. I understand what you're saying. It isn't how Parliament makes decisions. You cannot let this become a precedent. I do not know politics, Captain. I know that Diana is a good person. If Parliament insists, many hearts will be lost. And you, sir, you still will not yield? I know Diane well. She would never act out of selfishness. Nor does she have any ties with the nobility. Therefore, I humbly ask the speaker to take time out of a busy schedule to reconsider Diane's verdict. This was a decision rendered by the provisional court. Diane broke into the locked throne room in direct defiance of Parliament. I also know Diane very well, but her fate is nothing. Oh, come on. What is actually the sentence she's receiving? Game didn't tell me. Yan? Yes, she's the one who introduced us to you. After the war, we lost our homes and nearly our lives. If it weren't for her constant encouragement, why we still be passed out in a barrel of ale? You don't think she's a bad person either, do you? Susted Vina. Speaker Vina, sorry. It's a force of habit. Speaker Vina must have made a mistake. I've all gone to her office. But I feel like just having numbers on our side might not be enough. Feist. Words carry more weight. Please, I'm begging you. Sorry, but I have to assume that if Parliament put Diane on trial, it must have also allowed her to present defense. No matter how strange or unfair I think the decision is, I think Speaker Wiener forced them to change it at the last minute would be more unfair. Yeah, I guess it would that's an awful decision, because at that point she would kinda make herself king, right, and go over the Parliament. But Diane's case should be treated differently. Just barely survived the war. Now she's going to die over something so stupid. Okay, what the hell is this court doing? Fucking death sentence for... I mean, she did return the crown and everything. She seemed to be overall very cooperative. Seems like, you know, a decent person. Okay, yeah. You know, I'm with the people. This is fucking unreasonable. What the hell is Parliament doing? Listen to the radio. Listen to the patrons in the bars. We'll hear that nobody's happy about this decision. What do you think, Catherine? You said we could lodge our complaints with Wiener any time. I think Diane is just a stupid girl who did a stupid thing, nothing more. She means well, but what she did was moronic. She defied the direct order of Parliament and left Wiener with no other choice. So you're planning to turn down the farmer rep. How do you expect me to convince Parliament? Actually, Wiener does have a chance to solve this. Interpretation. Persuading Parliament to impose a lighter punishment is not impossible. But many eyes are watching as she makes a final decision. Hey, Flanwing, you have a doctor hoodie? It is nice hoodie. Yeah, I like it. And nice seeing you. How are you doing today? Nice as a size story for Catherine. It's not really for Catherine, it's more Wiener or Siege focused. And yeah, like, yeah, I think you were like at chapter 8, so this is actually kinda big spoilers for like the second story arc. So I don't know how much you actually wanna be around. Not that I hate you being around, but yeah. I'm doing well, just wanted to pass by before heading out for appointments. Fair. Then I hope you're also having a nice day. And those are at least not bad appointments. But once you get there, this is a good side story for sure. This is just one of the many typical issues that the Speaker of Londinium's parliament has to face. The hero may be able to save everyone in a war, but I will try catching a non-story day too for sure. Fair. I must say, most of my Arknight streams are going to the main story right now. But I mean, it's new months soon. I will do some IS for sure. That could also be a nice stream. Lady Delphin. We spent quite a bit of time trying to find you. Me. In just one day, Jan's case caused quite an uproar across Londinium. Briefly investigated who was spreading the news and inciting the public. So, Parliament wants me to shut up. I guess that this is kinda said plainly and directly, yes. Right, thanks for stopping by. Have a nice day. No, Eliseo. Compared to deliberate acts of sabotage, the actions have had significantly less impact. Actually, we all admire you for fighting so hard for someone you have not known for very long. Vina understands how you feel. She wanted to come see you in person, but I stopped her. I apologize, but Madam Speaker has more urgent matters to attend to presently. Is there absolutely no room for negotiation regarding Diane's case? No. Vina could change things. We all know that. Frankly, this is a very sad case. However, it will serve as a message from Parliament to all the citizens. I saw that you requested to review Parliament's records, so you must be well aware of Diane's charges, the defense that she herself presented, and the various PM's opinions of her. Okay, can we at least see her defense? I'm curious, man. Citizenry has collectively established Londinium's current laws. The Provisional Court made a judgment of Diane in accordance with those laws. Isn't this how you do things in Columbia? But she's a war hero. Shouldn't her merits outweigh her faults? That's the notion steeped in reason, yet playing with arrogance. I often come across this face in history books, usually said by old Victorian kings. But if Wiener crosses this line and the others allow it to happen, then what is the point of having Parliament? Well, having a king would solve some issues. How would our Parliament be any different from the one where the king himself served as Speaker? I don't know the answer to the questions, Eliseo, but none of us want to take the risk of finding out. Parliament will not interfere with any of your endeavors. However, as far as Dan's case is concerned, I'm sorry, this is Parliament's decision and cannot be changed. Jan never told me specifically what kind of soldier she was during the war. Most of the time, she talked to me about her hopes for Londinium's future. She was very busy with helping everyone. Most of the people I met in Londinium harbor high hopes and dreams for the city's future. This is the city's great fortune. Our duty is to ensure we've never left its people down. See. The Herbsian crew in the greenhouse against all odds will march in February. I hear they can elevate the excruciating pain of our pathy. Let's go, she at least will leave something behind. But wait until the major and take some samples back to Columbia. Okay, if you need any help before then, just let us know. Will this actually end with Dan fucking dying? That cannot happen, right? Actually, when I first arrived in Londinium, I was also curious as to what kind of person Speaker Wiener was. She's very diligent, that's for sure. When Hannah and I visit schools and sanatoriums to give surprises to the infected children, they always ask us about the story of Princess Alexandrina, the Princess Royal. We then tell them the whole tale of the street urchin who became a legendary war hero, the savior of Londinium. But the story always ends when Wiener walks out of the palace of Westhalleck. At that point, it's not so fit for children. I wish the story could end with Wiener tearing off those fancy clothes and returning with us to Norport, to the Glasgow gang. But I know that's not possible anymore. On the day of the mass protests against Diana's verdict, Wiener explained to us in detail the proposals he was going to submit to the Duke at her upcoming meeting. They covered a whole lot of topics like food, healthcare, education, and civil services reforms. Wiener had the right solutions to all those issues, but she didn't say a word about Diana. He listened quietly to all of her proposals and then left without picking it up. Fuel inventory report. Comprehensive report on all city sanatoriums. Report on our suppression distribution. Yeah. All her friends are gone, it's just all work. It does look so depressing now. Una turns her gaze to the documents in front of her. She struggles to absorb the realms of data. She knows that in just a few minutes, the bell on the table will ring to remind her to head to the banquet hall. She also knows that those guests don't really care about the numbers she has tried to memorize, much less actualize deaths and hardships to 0%. But she cares. This time she's the one who invited the Dukes for dinner. Hope this works. In our quiet office, the faint shouts of protesters outside the window could still be heard. I'm sorry, Diane. That is depressing. Was this the after? I always forget. I always forgo. But hey, better be safe than sorry. Victory, yeah, oh. That's not what we see. In the boxing ring, victory is about honor and glory. On the battlefield, victory is about life saved and lost. But did Emmerich just crazy? Not taking stuff terrified everyone was taught. I don't want to think about it now. I'll just include in my book. That sarcasm won't get a eulogy for me. But I'll forever honor the last Steam Night. Oh no, we did see this. We did. Yeah. So, to 9 we will go then. Yippee. I mean, it's literally called Go 9. How could we not go 9? Man, this is very happy music for somebody that we gone off. Phew, Zone 2 is finally all cleaned up. Now it's just Zone 4 left. How are you doing? Tough work, eh? Want to take a break? I'm cleaning just as fast as you are, as you can plainly see. You don't need to try and accommodate me just because I'm infected. That's not it at all. I just thought you must be tired with everything you've been through and all. Oh, I thought, never mind. I saw that incident with the crown. I'm fully clear on that now. It was just a spur of the moment thing. Besides, you're not the only one who wanted to do that. Actually, it seems like all of a sudden, people aren't as afraid of the infected anymore. That's because we are in Londinium. The policies instituted by the Speaker and Parliament have, at the very least, stopped many people from openly showing fear and resentments towards the infected. But according to a Colombian friend of mine, outside of Londinium, things haven't changed. Anyway, thanks for helping with the cleanup. We would have had the captain on us again without you. I should be the one thanking you for not shackling me. Having something to do helps put my mind at ease. If you ask me, you need not worry about Parliament's decision. Think about it. Of all the places on Londinium where they could have detained you, why did they choose the Defense Forces lockup? It's because we are all either old war bodies or familiar faces who can look out for you. Don't worry, once things cool down, we'll find a reason for you to go home. Protesters outside the Speaker's office. They are the ones who are missing the picture. We all know what kind of person Vina is. Are you feeling alright? Need something to drink? Saying the Speaker's going to release me? I'm saying just rest here for now, where it's safe, until things die down out there. The captain didn't allow you to have a radio or read the newspaper, right? It's because he was worried that you might get to thinking too much. If you're still feeling jittery, my good buddy, he gets thrown into the trunk tank every few days. He's just some premium huge around here somewhere. I'll go grab a few bottles for you. At least she gets treated well during the detention, huh? Ian gives a faint, wry smile as he strains to catch the sounds coming from outside. But aside from the faint sound of water running through pipes, he hears nothing but the distant thrills of the Defense Forces. Ever since she was poured in here, she has been more or less cut off from the outside world. I wonder if Alicio is doing alright. I really should have let him know beforehand. He must be so worried about me now. Indeed. He went to nearly everyone he knows to plead on your behalf. Madam Speaker? Good. They aren't treating you like some common criminal. And you made sure of that? No, they did it on their own. They believe you don't deserve the sentence. When they came to me on your behalf, your friends, my friends, our comrades in arms, even some civilians who don't know you at all. Yen. I snatched some of my buddy's liquor for... he takes a big swig of whiskey. Before the soldier even reaches the end, Vina, he stops at attention, the whiskey caught awkwardly in his mouth. Man. That's like the worst case scenario to be seen at work, huh? You're afraid to swallow or spit it out. He quickly hides the bottle behind him and salutes Vina. No need to hide it, Pater. As I recall, Horn did mention that drinking is prohibited in the barracks. Yes, Vina, but this is... I won't tell Horn, but in return, you'll keep my visiting Diana a secret. And set the bottle down, will you? And you bring it to the end anyway. Alright, Vina. We came here to discuss the plans of the end, right? Yes. See, Diane, I told you not to worry, didn't I? I'll go finish cleaning Zone 4. Been on duty all day. I didn't see anyone here. Would you like a taste of the whiskey Petal left? It doesn't smell all that bad. Then shakes her head slightly, a bit downcast. Mind if I have a sip then? Meeting with those dukes has left me parched. Madam Speaker, did you put me here because you really wanted to? I thought you'd feel better among old friends. Would rather I throw you in solitary? No, of course not. She was kind of watching out for her at least, right? That is nice. Honestly, I'm not as resolute as you think. Past is much different from yours, or from that of most Londinians. Diane, I did hesitate over my decision. So, thus you said mean Parliament has come to a verdict. I feel it best that I inform you of Parliament's decision in person. I bid you adieu, Lieutenant Diane Webber of the former 6th Column 10th Infantry Regiment. You are unquestionably a war hero. Thank you for your great service to our homeland. Parliament? See, Madam Speaker. When will it happen? Tomorrow. Man. She's very cool about that. Alright. Have you any regrets? A few. Perhaps my biggest regret is that after the war, I didn't immediately strip off this outfit and hide myself away back in Norport. Would never have done that, I know. The siege will never abandon our homeland. The Speaker of Londinium will never abandon Victoria. I've no regrets either, Rena. May I call you that? You may. We've met many times and fought side by side just as often. But today, I think it's the first day we can truly call ourselves friends. Rena, before I go, would you share a drink with me? It must be kind of depressing. I still don't... I just don't get why Parliament is so fucking harsh on this. Like, what do they gain from it? Like, it's just bad publicity. Like, I guess they want to show that, you know, even if you are like a war hero and everything, you know, that the rules still apply to you or something like that. But even then, yeah, it just seems so fucking harsh. When you walked alone into the palace of Vestalic, everyone believed that the one who emerged should be wearing the crown. A hero must one day be crowned king. Every collection of fairy tales in that older bookstore of on Baker Street had a story like that. Baker Street mentioned Let's Go. It was my favorite place to go before I enlisted. I really did want to witness history, Rena. But I let you down. I let a lot of people down. Yes, could have been a great ruler. Just because I wanted to make Londinium a better place. Then the old king, one who was hanged public, also want to make Londinium, to make all Victoria a better place. Yeah, turns out that as a ruler, you don't even have to only look out for your subjects, but also people that want to be in power. And they usually are not as nice as you. Things rarely go as planned. Sometimes what you believe is right may look wrong to others. When I recently began to understand that, then what is there to do? I'm still searching for that answer, Diane. Someone I trust told me to try to accept those who hate me, to stand firm in my own sense of justice. I'm still learning, but I never imagined this path would be so lonely. You're drunk, Rena. Rena shakes her head. She draws a sword and hands it to Anna. I mean, it must be kinda so frustrating to be powerless in a situation like this, right? Do you remember King Scarf, the size of kings? Yes, took it from your own hands after all. After that battle, I discovered that it had completely died. The smiths worked tirelessly, day and night, to reforge it for me. This new sword is heavier, carries the weight of even greater expectations than before. Jan, this sword reminds me every day of the right path. The future of Victoria doesn't rest with me or Parliament, but on all of you, those who reclaimed our home with their own strength. Mina, I have one last question. What really happened in the palace of Vestalic that day? What kind of story would you like to hear? A heroic fairy tale that make it into the books of that old bookstore? The truth, so plain that it's almost boring. It takes a long swig of it drink, and pushing over the cold steel of the sword. Be honest, I prefer the old sword. When I used to strike down our enemies, those were the moments I felt closest to Victoria. Back when I was living a simple, uneventful life, I imagined I'd have faults like these. And besides, there's hardly any time left to savor those quiet pre-war days, is there? Vina, forgive me, but I can't save the last bit of this whiskey for you. I really need it. By now, of all times, am I suddenly afraid to die? Before I'm completely drunk, would you tell me one last fairy tale? The tears fall on the sword, sliding down its blade. Whip, whip. Diane, I already know the stories of the past. You were there for the best parts of this fairy tale. You may not know how it ends. The day I entered the palace of Vestalic, put down the circus banner, was about to leave, and suddenly, I heard someone call my name from the phone room. Alexandrina Vina Victoria. I pushed open the door that had been sealed for so long. I saw... How? I guess now it makes sense who is the boss of this event, but how? Right. Connection successful. Reconnection successful, baby. Okay. Good. Sorry about that. Stream should be alright. Stream should be alright now, yeah. Mina, never even the slightest hint of fear to your subjects. Your teacher should have taught you that. You died long ago. 26 years ago. They hanged you from the gallows. Laughable. Who could kill Victoria? Those greedy condorings before they could tear the flesh on my body to feed themselves. They were so blinded by fear that they conspired in regicide. Also they could feast up the lands of the Aslans for their own gain. But no one can kill us. Not the Dukes, not the Red Dragon. We are the beating heart of Victoria. So that's why your statue, the Mausoleum of Kings, was never completed. The Dukes never truly laid you to rest. I've been here all along. What the hell? What little courage they possessed drove them to confine me in this throne room, but never to claim my throne. Cowardly usurpers. I don't think that the Sagas has left the man alone. They fear my people. They fear my Steam Knights. They fear us, Vina. My daughter, tell me, do my people still remember me? Do my knights still guard our palace? The people of Victoria have long since adapted to life before the monarch. As for your knights, they're all gone. They were murdered by the very people they were sworn to protect. And what of you, Vina? I can barely remember what you look like. Then come closer. Take off my mask and look closely. You'll see only yourself, Alexandrina. Blood of the royal line flows in us both. I'm sorry, my child, that I failed to keep my promise. Intended to hand you a peaceful and powerful Victoria. Yet betrayal has left me sitting here, watching on my phone for what, 20 years. Well, at least we can make them invest. But at last, you have returned. Take my scepter, wear my crown. Proclaim to our people that their Saravena has returned. Purge our land of all dissent, and punish every coward who betrayed the crown. Honestly, getting rid of the Duke seems like a good outcome. The glory endured. This is Victoria's rightful way. The King's scepter struck heavily against the throne platform. Its still echo reverberating. Blood was never the source of our strength. How familiar those words are. Just like my defiant boasts to my own father. I still have much to learn, my daughter. Let me teach you a long overdue lesson. The meaning of royal power. Still, I grant you the right to oppose me. Alexandrina, return to my side and listen. No, you're already dead, Your Majesty. All that remains here is your echo, lost in the glories of a bygone empire. I do not need you to grant me anything, nor do I need you to validate the strength of my convictions. I just want you to rest in peace, Father. Rena tightened her grip on a hammer, stepped onto the platform, and walked toward the Empire's last glimmer of twilight. I mean, I will still use my overpowered team, but we don't auto-deploy. Let's do a practice one, basically. Okay, I also don't want Petalopsis. I do have a... take you. Oh, you will also be good. Let's take you. And let's see the boss again. I do remember the challenge mode for this being such a struggle for me. But yeah, I don't think it was that bad in the normal version back when it was V1. We'll see. I do remember the mechanics of getting like equipment. I guess it's a totally different map than the... I guess the challenge version was also the X version, I think. As Final Flame of the Empire. Final Flame of the Empire, Spectre adorned with a rusted crown. Refute him. Refute Victoria's supreme glory and authority. Re-examine the evidence he may yet forgive. Well, you can stand here, man. Okay, I kind of forgot. Okay, it's just one DP. Maybe we put you here. It's at least also nice to hear the soundtrack again, since... Man, I feel like we could just do this and win, right? Probably. Hey, that's... Only one way to find out. Or you are in range. Does make some sense. But... watch me go. Not sure if this actually matters. There's not any of the bots see yet. Okay, and at least the man has a damage shield now. But we can also just do something like this. Maybe on the bottom. I see. Okay, I don't think my life-healing team could take it at all. I still need to... but this first version of the fight isn't too bad. But I guess all those bigger events are never too bad. Because the hard version of the boss fight is always then later on. Oh, you even lose your damage shield. Yeah, with King. Was? Was is one that is? Will the Steam Knight spawn or the Steam Knight only Dex version? Well, we have some tanks. That might kinda count as a problem. Or would I? I guess it doesn't really make a difference where I'd rather put you. But yeah. I guess I have time to drink and yet for a second. I feel like as a band, this is like so much characterization to Wiener. But I guess it's kind of impressive how it feels like it paints us a good picture of how actually dire and grim it is still after the war. Okay, it is part of this. Armor of the Empire. Bombards the area of the allied unit with the highest current HP as long range physical attacks. After several attacks charges up for an attack that deals high physical damage 3 times. Yeah, that was toxic. But I'm sure we can just tank it. Yeah, what did I just say? But man, I wish I killed the Steam Knight like that's the X version. I still feel like some parts of it could have been in the main story. Like, I do know. I keep always saying the story is too slow. But I feel like chapter 14 did rush a few things, actually. Could have been somewhat neat parts. Okay, this does make more sense in the actual event here. But just to see how Victoria gets at least a little bit taken over and everything, since, yeah, chapter 14 just ends with all the Favisa stuff and you don't even see the end of the war in a sense. Yippee. And in a sense, not much happens in this event overall. Like, at least for like future plot relevance, it feels like in a sense. It was very great characterization though, and it is nice to see. Then we go to the after story. We did kill her father. The king is dead. Long live the king. Mina, I don't like the story. The king who found no peace in his eternal rest up in the throne, the hero laid down her crown. The story is over, but has anything really changed? You and King Alistair both wanted to make Victoria better, but in the end, he didn't achieve anything. Okay, it sounds not well. It still sounds like Venus doing a lot for Londinium right now, right, as a speaker. But yeah, turns out being a ruler is probably not as easy and straightforward as you would wish it to be. Then takes a hard swig from the bottle. Burning liquor stinks, coaxing more tears from her already swollen eyes. The king couldn't do it. And what hope do we have? How can we possibly change anything? But the story's not over yet, Diane. I'd also believed it would all end when the king found peace. Then someone unexpected appeared. Should I even ask what brings you here? White figure emerges from the shadows behind the throne. White figure? Faint glimpses of that fairy can be seen in so many of Victoria's legends. Power, intrigue, destiny. Dreams coming true. Throughout the centuries' old tales, she seems to possess different powers, and no one can say for certain which one is truly her. Rena, what did you see? I saw the unicorn. Rena, you have far exceeded my expectations. You've shown me new possibilities. Put down your hammer. I'm not your enemy. Fought side by side once, didn't we? Who are you, unicorn? A tailor's daughter. The leader of the Salvation Corps. A witness to Victoria. Of course. Many old men, even as they faced death, insisted on calling me the nation's sentinel of history books. Wishful thinking, I suppose. Over the hundreds of years, I've remained in Victoria, assumed, and later erased countless identities. But at present, I'm Clovis. Okay, it does make sense that there's more up with her. It was a bit strange that, you know, the leader of the resistance was a young girl. In short, I'm your friend, and I'm sincerely pleased by all you've achieved. Does this answer satisfy you, Vina? Another one of the long-lived. He deceived every ally in the Self-Salvation Corps, as well as all of Woods Island. Deceived? I've never deceived anyone. Everyone has their desires. I merely fulfilled them. Ordinary people tormented by Saka's bloodshed wanted to survive, so led the Self-Salvation Corps to find a way out. Ancient families, mired in power struggles, feared annihilation in the Empire's whirlpool, so I eliminated every threat to the continuation of the ducal lineage. Frederick III hoped Victoria wouldn't fall into chaos beneath the Red Dragon's shadow. I could grant that wish too. So now you've come to me. Alexandrina, daughter of Alistair, why would you think I'm only just noticing you now? I've been keeping tabs on you the whole time, baby. Vina, history is like a sailing ship. You're all the ones who steer its course. Since you wish to change Victoria, I can help you. What role would you assume to realize your ideals? You could be a king, a speaker, or even the sole leader of the Exemplars. Any of these titles are yours to choose. Vina, I must say, yours isn't a new story, but far too many like it in the old shops. In the end, the hero always accepts the fairy's gift. I guess stories like this generally end with, yeah, you know, two higher returns is the hero and becomes the best king to ever rule the country. So, in the end, you chose the role of speaker? No, Diane, I chose nothing. For hundreds of years, the unicorn has chosen the heroes have merely chosen their boons. But why? Why? Yes, why did I have to choose her? Why are you laughing, Vina? You hear that sound outside? They're cheering for victory, and for Victoria. Many of them do not have grand ambitions. They don't think of protecting anyone. Some of them would not even share a piece of bread with a starving man. Yet they're still willing to risk their lives for even the smallest sliver of hope. Yeah, my Victoria. I like those fools, and I'm willing to look out for them. And you, Clovistia, have no right to make me choose something I've been doing all along. You'd best leave unless you don't mind it getting awkward. Siege! You're a fool too, Alexandrina. Just like your father. Send them a message for me. Tell them that Taylor's daughter is dead. I fulfilled their wishes. Siege, I got a caller in here to back you up. We've been waiting outside for you forever. We were afraid something happened to you. It's been taken care of. Thank you, Feist. Huh? Come on, then. Are they still all waiting for us? This battle must end now. That's the end of the story, Diane. Diane? Condemned soldier has finished the last drop of alcohol and is sound asleep. Diane wanted to drink herself into a stupor. Vina has finished telling her story, but Diane cannot bring herself to face her own ending. She wanted to drink herself into a dream in which even death could not catch up to her. She gets her wish. I'm sorry, Diane. I'm not worthy of being a monarch. Not even sure I'm qualified to serve as speaker. Besides, This war has changed many things. Old beliefs have been shattered, and we're striving to rebuild our lives amidst the imminent threat of destruction. I believe that soon, a great transformation will begin in Londinium and sweep across all of Victoria. I don't know what tomorrow will bring, but I'm certain of one thing. Now that we've found the courage to face adversity, why should we ever return to the past? Victoria no longer needs a monarch, Dan. Sweet dreams. You know, it doesn't need a monarch, that's for sure, but also maybe kind of still shows that the parliament is flawed if the decision is like that controversial and still goes through. Maybe let actually the public rule, crazy thought. On the eve of her march to the gallows, the drunken soldier sleeps the most peaceful sleep of her life. And she dreams of the king's coronation, dreams of the factory in her hometown, the whistle blowing to signal the end of the workday, as the workers shake off their hats and step out through the factory gates. Then she soars into the sky and sees Londinium gliding across the mist-covered verdant earth. She dreams of Victoria. She is singing her song. May the vast lands to keep our king, his people and all his well village, and give them grace without undying. Then may we call and safely sing, Victoria, your thanks for our home. At least tell me there's a good ending for her. Your arc that's depressing. It cannot be that depressing. Mina, I can't believe it. The graffiti on the gym's walls is still there. Look at this one. Morgan painted it after dreaming of being a famous artist. Oh, right. Look at this photo. The sign of the movie theater has been nailed back up. And look! The two dumb-looking foul beasts perch on top of it. Norport is in much better shape than the last time we saw it. Can't wait to go back and see it with my own eyes. So where did these photos come from? The envelopes only had the photos, no signature. Plenty of people have joined the engineering team to help rebuild our home. Some of them are old friends from Norport. Oh, there are 2 videotapes in here too. It's just some old, worn-out movies. But hey, Delphine, you love watching bad movies, don't you? Here you go. Thank you. Mina, are you okay? You seem a bit distracted. Yeah, I think everybody's also unhappy. Just realized he has their own outfit in the between in the office. That is cool. That is a neat detail. Anyways, you're all going back. Why the serious look? We're just heading home early to do some housekeeping. Mucken, you were more excited than anyone when you said we were going home. Why am I missing something? How about you, Doctor? I go lend him a hand. There's not much I can help with here, Mina. The Knights of the Tower Museum is coming along smoothly. My wish has been fulfilled. Alright. Mina, actually, we could still... The bell tolls. It's 4, Vina. I know. We can set out now. Do you want to go see Diane? I have a meeting with Parliament and the Dukes. Oh. Vina, those protesters outside. I handled them personally. I know their concerns go beyond just Diane. They've been waiting for a long time for a king. Huh? Well, that's definitely something the Glasgow gang can't meddle in. Okay. Alright. We'll back and tidy up. You know, no point is better than I expected. Well, not by much. We'll be waiting for you, Vina. Man. Her path do be the lonely one. Vina, you could ask them to stay. Of course, I'd love for the Glasgow gang to stay together. But Achterrick isn't their home. Besides, just take a listen. There are plenty of people outside waiting for my response. But before I address them, I intend to bring back more than just empty promises from the Dukes. Mina, Parliament has done more than just make empty promises. We've helped revive our industries, restore order, resettle those affected by the war. Tell me, Delphin, does everyone now have an equal right to a decent life? Doesn't sound like it. You know, you have still work left. I need to show them that even before the king, we can prove this nation's potentials to any doubters. Let's go. I don't want to be late for the meeting with the Dukes. We should sing something. Sing what? Any song will do, as long as it's not that placid Auchteric carol. Like the song Hannah hums every time she steps out of the ring. And as the star, knock him down one by one, round after round. Stop it. I don't do that anymore. It's cute though. Besides, didn't you all say the song I made up to cheer for Wiener was better? Oh please, if I remember, you just replaced all the names in Douglas' favorite song with Wiener, right? Hey, I wonder if Wiener even remembers something that silly. Of course she does. I know she mustn't have forgotten. It's just... I get it. She said it herself. Looking forward is what really matters. And there's still a long road ahead, isn't there? That day, we didn't take a detour to watch Sharon's aunt. I didn't listen to any radio podcasts. I heard her homeopathy was so bad that they had to separate her to prevent any incidents. To think that her last shred of dignity came from homeopathy. I've stopped trying to make sense of these things. As I left Central Londinium and caught sight of the factories of Norport, I knew we were home. But is it a better home? Parliament Chamber. Wiener, are you not attending the execution? Relying on you to calm the many protesters there should things take an unfortunate turn. My good Earl of March, I know that is indispensable. Besides, the defense forces are already maintaining order on site. Several MPs are there to oversee the proceedings. You don't need me. Jan Wabertudi was a hero. Shame, really. You didn't really do anything wrong. Excellent Wiener, you've managed this matter well, but you need to be more heavy-handed. You're too concerned with the dissenting voices, most of which don't matter. You're kinda says a lot about the Dukes. Madam Speaker, why not let us shield you from the storm until Londinium's parliament fully matures? Wellington's stance remains ambiguous. The Windermere domain is simmering with unrest, and the Duke of Ashworth continues to keep a low profile as always. If the Speaker requires assistance, you wouldn't dare refuse. We must secure Victoria's future, and you want more power. Very well, since the offered, I won't hesitate to accept. Huh? He did not expect that. The Quace is undoubtedly aware of the dire situation with the infected within the city. I must insist that you promptly reopen the supply route you have kept closed for a month under the guise of ensuring safety. Turn the medicine supplies we've already paid for. Of course, if you're still concerned the defense force can escort the shipment and clear out those bandits along the way. Of course, those are minor issues. Now, how about my proposal for forming and twinning infected fighting squads? I understand you're considering forming an infected unit in your own territory. Want us to test its feasibility? That's fine. I insist that the safety of the soldiers remain a priority. I'll make all the data available to you. Of course, and to every other Duke. After all, this has critical implications for the future strength of Victoria, doesn't it? That's no simple matter, Madam Speaker. In truth, that's given me quite a headache. Waiting eagerly for some good news from you. She did grow up. As for your Quace, Duke of Castor, the Tilby Ashers should soon be delivering an invitation. After all these years, Londinium will finally open diplomatic channels with foreign envoys, this time in the name of Victoria. Plus you all will be in attendance when the time comes. But the best fate that Londinium presents herself in a form you can be proud of. I consider this a provocation, Alexandrina. When the moment you deliberately blocked Londinium from contacting other nations after the war, you've been provoking Parliament. We call it protection. Where I'm from, we have another word for it. Kidnapping. Fortunately for you, we always have our ways of reaching those whom we want. Aww. Rena, it's my turn to negotiate now. No Earl of March, I do not talk to you. Go home. We have nothing to discuss, and certainly no need to be friends. I'm afraid that's not for you to decide. Whatever your intentions may be, Londinium's affairs are none of Columbia's business. It seems you found what you need to refuse any deals with me. I have with a few photos. Surely you're aware of what's hidden beneath Londinium, right? Oh? Rena, it seems you've managed to find yourself some leverage. Yippee. Well, at least all the hours working did pay off for her. Excellent, Rena. I admire your candor. But I must remind you, we're to speak of Parliament now. Not just some street fuck with the Glasgow gang. Well, do you know how we used to keep corrupt cops away back in Norport? Either everyone pretends nothing happened and keeps things as they are, or we expose all the dirty laundry and everyone goes down in flames. It worked every time. Yippee, I love my blackmail. And I'm sure your quasars understand that it has always been Victoria who has kept you safe, not the other way around. I believe your quasars even said something of a similar nature before. Excellent, Rena. I'm starting to doubt our decision of choosing you as speaker. You're mistaken. The decision was mine all along, not yours. I know your schedules are packed, so let's not request anymore. I have a long list of things to discuss with you. Parliament seats, medical purchases, military reform, private communication lines, supply routes, aid for reconstruction. Let's not waste time. Of course, you're free to continue arguing with me. Don't worry, this time my sword won't be on your necks. Right, that is character development. She's at least resolute. She's coming. Everyone, get over here. If we can make the speaker hear us, we can save that poor soldier's life. On the street, the eagerly waiting crowd surrounds Rena, who stands alone. She knows they are all waiting for her answer. You've heard us. That innocent hero doesn't deserve this fate. It's not too late to change your mind. Sorry, I have nothing to say with regard to Diane. The Parliament has decided, and as its speaker, I stand by its decision. Avon, these are Spurs. Then again, if you absolutely insist on a resolution, you're welcome to stay. Maybe could you at least not have a delete file or something if the public interest is that big? I don't know, man. Just now, I reclaimed many things from the visiting dukes. Things that rightfully belong to us and are crucial to our future. I will tell you about each of these things, one by one. This is the only matter I'll be addressing. Sounds of protest begin to subside, and most await the outcome of the meeting. Few discontented voices still rise from the crowd. Is there really nothing that can be done for that poor soul? But why? Because I guess anything else would be undermining the thing she's trying to build. This isn't something that needs explaining. Do you want the speaker to go back on her word? We start bending the rules now. New laws passed by Parliament won't be worth the paper they're printed on. And thank you, Catherine, for saving the day. Catherine, what brings you here? Some old friends passing by saw the protest and feared things might get out of hand. So they asked me to see if I could help. As luck would have it, quite a few workers just got off their shifts, heard about it, and came to support you. Take a look. Yippee! As more and more workers gather around, we wave at Vina and spot familiar friends and family members among the protesters. She is actually making a positive change to this country. Conversations begin to ripple through the crowd. The street suddenly comes alive with activity. Yo, my man. Looks like we're a bit late. Lieutenant? Aren't you supposed to be waiting at the sanatorium for your departure? Dolphin told me about the station. I wasn't planning to come, but once the others at the sanatorium found out, insisted on coming to see who was causing the trouble this time. I couldn't stop them, so here we are. A column of soldiers, marching in perfect formation and singing, pushes the congested crowd. The noise instantly dies down as people instinctively make way for the soldiers, who march up to stand in front of Vina, forming a barrier between her and the protesters. Vina, we all know you went to negotiate with the Dukes today, to fight for us. We're not about to let you be humiliated in front of the Dukes today. I'll be ready for another battle, but we won't anyone in numbers. I mean, she did a lot against them. Thank you, all of you. Everyone, come quick! I think they're over there! A group of rowdy children fearlessly pushed through the crowd, squeezing their way right up to Vina. It's really you! You know me? Of course, we all heard your story. The great hero of the Exemplars, our very own speaker. Made so many new friends recently. All people walked back to Londinium with you. You told me you would definitely recognize them. Take a look. Hello, Vina. Annie? And there's Annabelle. Oh, Jones, you're here too. Man, imagine if she would not have recognized any of them. I guess they were telling the truth then. But why have you come? Ran into this lady with really tan skin. She said you might run into trouble. Told us to come help you. Did we actually help? Of course you did. Thank you, Morgan. Morale is improved. Populace can see that she is working for them. More and more people gather in front of the steps, while those who had been protesting for the end started to quiet down. Oof. She thinks about everything that has happened over the past few days. She thinks about the drunken Diane, the departing Glasgow gang, and the stolen crown. Bloody hell. Vina relaxes, sitting down on the steps and gazing at the fiery red sky. Retired soldiers sit as well, huddling with other citizens around Vina. Let's all take a break, okay? Can I ask you something? Will I ever have a king again? I don't know, but having a king might not be such a bad thing. But not having a king might not be such a bad thing. Why is that? Understand when you grow up. Huh? What do you think? Will this be good or bad for Victoria? It's still too early to tell. We have to accept the dawn of a new era, and we all need to change the way we think to keep up. Parliament regulated by the people, no more individual authority, no king. That's the first in Victorian history. Even I have to admit, she may well be biting off more than she can chew. Evan glanced to the speaker, who was sitting on the steps without the expected grace, and can't help but wonder. Vina is surrounded by the children, they all smile and laugh together. Every so often, she raises her voice to share jokes about the Dukes, what she managed to wrestle from the Dukes, things that belonged to the people. The sunset's warm light baffles her figure before slowly fading as the time passes. I'd say the days ahead will only get better. She breathes out a ring of smoke, watching as the thin wisps drift away into the dying light. Happy end, kinda at least. If only Diane wouldn't have had to die, man. Parliament has passed a resolution. The crown will be placed on the throne in the Palace of Vestalic, guarded around the clock by the defense forces. Until a suitable candidate for the throne is identified, the crown will be guarded by Parliament. Once a candidate is chosen, a nationwide referendum will be conducted under parliamentary review and supervision to finalize the coronation. Additionally, Parliament will soon announce decisions regarding the distribution of living supplies and other public welfare matters. Parliamentary supervision. These meetings are truly exhausting. I much prefer settling matters as the grand banquet. Yeah, see, he will miss out. It's a grim day for the Duke of Gottingen. Cannot just get drunk while doing politics anymore then. At least there's wine when my lips are parched. Sir Davis is certainly taking his sweet time fetching the wine. Your quiz, Duke of Caster, where are you headed next? I already know the answer, so why pretend to ask? Getting the news from you is quicker than waiting for Wellington's spies to report back. So how about you, Eleanor? A quiz, we're hardly close enough to be exchanging warm farewells. Your words wound me, Eleanor. I suppose I'll have to present a fine bottle of wine on my next visit to Old Normandy. Ask him to put in a good word about me to you. The carriage has arrived, sir. Allow me to get at the door for you. Much obliged, Earls of March. And remember, you're all Victorians after all. Yeah, we would not ever end in infighting. Of course. It's been so long since I last heard the spells. The sound brings back memories. Your quiz. Brought you one of the finest wines from our cellar. Even those circus devils couldn't sniff this one out after they took my estate. Yippee, I love my hidden winesters. Sir Davis, you are a man of wit. Rest assured, there will always be a place for you in the Gottingen territories, as long as there's wine. The Duke of Gottingen takes a sip of the wine and turns to make a remark, but then suddenly freezes. He's confronted with a stunning sight. The sun has set. I haven't seen the sun for 2,000 years. The crimson sun sinks slowly, as though setting the entire city ablaze. The scars the sagas had torn into the city stand out even more vividly in the evening glow, as if they are still bleeding. The winter sunset truly shows no mercy. Much like the speaker's attitude toward us, I suppose. We'll send someone to deliver a few sets of winter clothing for your quiz. Take care of yourself. Victoria isn't ready to do without you just yet. Many thanks. After all, we can't very well go before Wellington, can we? Wonder if we kill off Wellington in the other event. Why the sudden melancholy, your quizzes? I find the sunset rather breathtaking. Day fades into night, and night into day. How often do we get to witness such a sight? Londinium's thick fog and heavy clouds rarely part like this. I don't know, back in the day, the lads at school would always joke. It was the sun that had to follow behind Londinium. It would rise as we please, and never set if we willed it. Now though, she has to go full speed, just to barely keep up with the setting sun. That's fine, you can conquer more territory. The thought keeps me awake at night. Day or night, sunrise or sunset, only Londinium can be Victoria's capital. All of March, remember my words. Droll, very droll indeed. Huh, the sun really does move. Another bell tolls. More black-feathered foul beasts steer and take to the skies over the city, circling before flying through the steam towards the setting sun. As the sun dips out of sight, the glow of the twin moons becomes ever clearer. Night approaches. Yippee. Okay, I'm kinda curious, since we I guess maybe we get to see actually Glasgow gang together for a bit, right? While happy ending for Wiener too. There will come a day that you, Wiener, will read these words. I wrote it down. Fairy tale ending. Okay, how is the fairy tale ending actually going to happen? Streets of Norport. So yeah. How'd things go on your end, Doctor? Miss Lane's still alive, but he's got a busted leg. His one father didn't make it though. I've tried asking some old friends. None of them know when that father passed away exactly. I've been trying to escape Norport. I've been some suckers at the end of the tether during the Allied counterattack. Did you manage to see Mr. Lane himself? I did. He works at the port now. He didn't bring up the old days, and he avoided talking about his crew. But he thinks that now he's living a good life. That's what matters in a sense. Bloody hell. He's all around one of the factories he used to look after. It's full of little punks now. One of those youngsters I've even heard of as Glasgow gang. Well, time to work on rebuilding your reputation. That pack of brats deserves a right thrashing. Did you swing by the old restaurant we always went to? Torn down. Alman sent some men over to get in touch with all the old shopkeepers. Anything so run down it couldn't be fixed up, and whose owner was missing, was later to be torn down and rebuilt. The pub on Sunset Street, Paul's Bar, the magazine store that went from Casimir's van, they're all gone. But your videotape store is still in business, right? Hannah, I checked out the public cemetery they were talking about too. I couldn't find McLaren or... Damn it. Why don't these graves have names on them? Well, I'd hard to identify all of them. Stuff me. I can't believe you caught me crying. I'll at home already. Don't wanna leave Morgan waiting. I thought that gym was going to be a rougher sight. Thank you. Looks to me like you've been taking care of the place this whole time. I forgot that Kato existed, not gonna lie. Man, at least you're picking him up now. I thought if you're still alive, you'd be coming back sooner or later. Doesn't matter how you look at it, I'm still part of the Glasgow gang. You didn't get on Duke Windermere's ship with us back then. I wasn't so far gone that I needed saving by the Dukes. But I gotta admit, I was being a right fool back then. After all that, I took some of the crew out to fight some devils hanging around Norport. Ended up hearing about exemplars from them. Pulled off some crazy stunts I could never dream of. Nami. The battle outside was in total chaos. Some of the gang helped out in the front line with me. But there wasn't much we could do. All I got in the end were a few cuts and bruises. I guess it sounds like you maybe did help with order a little bit, right? Infected too? Yep. Heard the same happened to Intva after she took a bad scrape on the battlefield not too long ago. She's feel lucky she had friends like you there with her. Morgan stares blankly ahead. He'd never considered the problem, but even Intva herself had. No, that ain't right. I don't feel all funny hearing you say that. I gotta admit, I'm not sure what's not right about what you said. Whatever you say. Anyway, if I ever get a chance, tell Siege I said sorry. If you stick around, you can tell her yourself. My Glasgow gang's long gone. Since you're coming back, it's only right that I head out. But I'll not come back with you. You're standing by Wiener's side. Sounds like your lot had a squabble too. Heard about your mom from a podcast. Doesn't matter who she might be, at least she's got some nerve. Where are you headed off to next? Norport needs mines to rebuild it. The port's busy shuttling in goods from outside all day, every day. You and crew are gonna keep an eye on it. And then I head into Central to bash in some merchant bastards that, that's only a maybe. Norport's changed, Morgan. Folks I know are gone, the shops too. There's some new gang of prats that's popped up. Don't know their ass from the elbow, yet is still trying to fight for dominance. Anyway, I'm giving the gym back to you lot. Parliament talked a big game in that podcast of theirs. I talked it over with some of the boys. We wait a spell, let over to some other dukedom to see what's what. We'll find a new turf. I mean, you could also keep up the spirit of the classical gang. A new turf, a new beginning. I need some time to forget a few things. Morgan, was that cater leaving just now? Yep. Came to say goodbye and decided to hand this back to us while he was at it. Pulls out a butterfly knife from her pocket. No. It's badly scratched, but the emblem of the classical gang can still be clearly seen. Bert's butterfly knife. And I would recognize it anywhere. It was her who insisted on creating that emblem once she beat Bert after all. Kata found it on the body of a cleaner. We couldn't find Bert herself though. It's time to just make sure she has a nice grave, I guess. I went there too. All I found was some stuff on the wall I didn't get. It's almost all gone. What with Alderane? But I'm sure she was there. Saw her inviting. I hope so too. I hope so too. What did Bert hope for? About it long? I guess I don't have the notes of the scholar when she found them, which is sad. What about it long and hard, but we were never able to make sense of it. My wishes had already been washed back into Nompol's soil by the vein. Decided not to dwell on it much longer. We never could guess her last little secret. He's definitely having a good laugh at us right now. My wish kinda came true. I remember that whenever we went to the video shop, Bert hated VP scenes about grieving the most. Yeah, she never thought death was worth being all that sad for. Pass the knife to me. Think of a way to hang it up on the wall. Then I go get some drinks to celebrate us coming home. A toast to Bert. Should we wait for Wiener? It's gonna be a while till she comes home. She ain't got time to come, man. But just in case. Then we hold off right before we get completely pissed, Anna. Who's waits for no man? But what about women? That day, without having to say a word on the matter, all drank our drinks real slow. We were waiting for one more person. Seems there was a lot of chit-chat going on that day. Not that we remember any of it after the hangover. You know, still a nice day, hopefully. All I remember is that Hannah and I got in a fight, and Doctor's paw got itself another scar. Why? None of us knew. If Rena were there, it would all be fine. She always stayed the most sober of all of us, and she'd remember for us. But she never showed up that day. I tracked the body back, boss. But will this really be okay? I mean, snatching away the corpse of a condemned criminal from right under Parliament's nose. Do you really think you could take that away without some silent approval from above? Huh? What of the Columbian? He's not in the best of moods. Boss, do we really need him to carry these goods? What if... Milska says nothing. The mercenary sighs. Alright, I get it. Look, boss, I'm not trying to make you mad, but ever since Parliament made a move on us, everyone's been on edge. Doesn't concern you a lot. I handle the Columbian. Wonder if we actually see Nando, if Milska's gonna be kinda saved for future side story or anything like that. Nisio, I presume I don't need to introduce myself. Milska, I've heard about you. There's also a warrant out on you. Good, no need to waste words then. Need you to see this batch of goods out of Londinium safely. You will, of course, receive payment. I can send this corpse along with you. Leave the city and go as far away from it as you can. Her name is Diane, Milska. Who she is isn't important to me. What's important is that she doesn't show her face again in Londinium. Well, at least it is a good ending. They call this payment, making someone who just got home leave again. Alicia, you're well aware she cannot stay in the city. So as everyone is concerned, she's dead, hanged from the gallows. Vina made a mistake. As long as this person is alive and within the city, sooner or later someone's going to use her as a knife to stab Vina in the back. She really must learn to be more decisive. Know the condition of her infection better than I do, Alicio. It doesn't have long. You're welcome to refuse, of course, but I will still help Vina settle this matter in my own way. Man. Goaded. I know your story, Melska. Or rather, Lady Elder Cumberland. There's a lot of versions of it out there, but they all agree you really did fit with the title of Cumberland, the Ever on High, once upon a time. Fine, get Anne out of here. Can take better care of her back in Columbia. Happy? You're a good man, Eliseo. He's lucky to have made a friend in you. Get ready, you could be leaving at any time. Either die a hero, or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Did you ever think you'd turn out this way? Hey, she has at least a good fit. But she did kind of comedically get a villain too. I ask, just me. Countless heroes lived through the war, from the most radiant of them to those that none remember. I'm curious as how they will change in the face of reality. Spooky foreshadowing. Lying down amidst the meadow, the soldier senses a slight itch. The cold wind blows at the stalks of grass, and the tips tickle her face. Is this what the land of the dead is like? She opens her eyes and sees someone most unexpected. Huh? What? You are awake. It's me, Eliseo. You shouldn't just go off on your own to do dangerous stuff without a word, Diane. I remember standing atop the gallows. You're dead, at least to those who witnessed the execution. Before we left, I asked the people at Woods Island to give you the once-over. It's not looking too good. A lot of your major organs have already begun to crystallize. In other words, Urgem is replacing those organs. No, do you need those organs? So I'm not dead. Am I lucky or unlucky? I'm not sure if the speaker knew about this beforehand. So it was Vina who let me go. That's rather foolish of her. Tell you the truth, I really don't get some of you people. Sorry, Diane. Wait, you can't go back to Londinium. Only now does she realize they are no longer in Londinium. It's the telltale giant that tracks laid down by the nomadic city not too far off in the distance. Just ahead of them, Saka's children run around in the meadow, waving at her as they pass. Most displaced Sagas have lost the light in their eyes to confusion. They can go anywhere, but nowhere can they call home. I'll be taking you to Columbia, Diane. I'll be able to do more for you there. Alright then, Columbia, eh? I still remember saying that if I get a chance, I'll have to see the place you keep talking about. How far are we from Columbia, Alicia? Still very far away. Let me get out my map. I'll be able to make it there in my condition. Walking the whole way. Right, we got a ride. See, but you promised me one thing, Eliseo. I know what you're going to ask, Diane. When that day comes, I'll bring you home. I'll bring you back to Londinium. I'm rather curious myself as to how much the city would have changed by the time we return. Gonna be funny papers to bring back a corpse. The day we went back to the gym and got drunk, I had a dream. In that dream, there was a tomb all dressed up to the nines. Our names were carved onto the bricks inside it. Man, I mean, you are heroes. Morgan, Kate Morrigan, Intwa, Hannah Jackson, Dr. Isabel Montague, Baird. Wicked Lucan. Outside the tomb, there was a blazing carriage, and atop it sat a golden lion. It was calling my name. Vina Victoria. Vina? A blanket? Who put this blanket on me? My head hurts real bad. What time is it? Morgan, did I tell you not to drink like a sodding Vina all the time? Considering how wild Hannah and the rest can get. Shouldn't you be looking after them? Vina? Vina? A good ending. Yippee! Morgan nimbly launches herself out of the sofa, leaping over the short table to throw herself at Vina. Vina, you came over! I thought... You thought what? Why didn't you wake me, Hannah? Weren't you yapping and yowling yesterday about how she definitely wasn't coming? Look at you, turned out the most excited out of all of us that is a happy cat girl. No, I'm not. Stubborn prick. Lie down, Morgan. Doctor's still asleep. The one resting her head atop Infa's lap twitches her ears, still lost within a lovely drunken dream. Seems like Doctor's drank the most of your lot. I tidied up a lot of empty bottles. It must have been a real rotten mood, Vina. Sorry. I just hope I'm not too late. Well, of course you're not. Wasn't what you said yesterday, Morgan. Shut it, Hannah. Welcome home, Vina. Honestly, how does she have time now to be also parts of Wolf's Island? That's the real question, man. I was really hoping to pop in earlier, but there's simply far too much to handle over at Parliament. Then, how'd you? I just sneaked away. I'm afraid I've given Horn another headache to deal with. I suspect you only just have discovered I slipped away. That doesn't mean you need to head back. Can't run away from responsibilities. But I owe you all an apology. Vina, you don't need to... Oh, she's awoken. Siege! Vina! How long have you been asleep? Lex, Vina's only just arrived back. The knife hanging on the wall. It says, Kata brought it back. Kata? Well, at least they can all catch up, at least. Vina never brought up having to head back to the whole day, but we all knew that the Siege Vina, the boss of the classical gang, the ever victorious king of the Slobberknocker, and one of my best friends, could leave us at any moment. So I was loath to lose a single moment where I could tell Vina about all the changes in Norport she hadn't had the chance to see yet. Kata, Mr. Lane, the video shop, Rewrite Port, the rebuilt stores, a handful of old friends who rushed home after hearing the news. Of course, who could forget the inexperienced little buggers who wanted to take over our gym. After Vina beat them all into Kingdom Come with a smile on her face. No, good old workout, right? Just some exercise. They apologized by way of a few cartons of beer and said they wanted to join us. Seems like Norport's forgotten about us, but I don't think that's such a bad thing. Our video was over. And now Vina needs to go back to her office job. The end. You still remember this place? Why don't we get back to our little games? See who's fastest this time around. It's nice to see them happy though. For Vina has even finished speaking and has already begun to set off. Hannah, you lousy cheat! She didn't say nothing about a countdown. I'm still a champ here? You've gotten slower ever since the interview, Hannah. Till after you're caught up. What? What's going on? Wait for me. Don't fall behind, Delphine. Follow me. Get there? A real slowpoke. Several figures speed through the streets, and a few workers heading home after work give an inquisitive glance to the brush crew. He can't quite seem to remember who this gang is. Must be another bunch of outsiders just survived at Norport. Maybe. Excuse me? Yeah, they're the two locals. The two kings of this place. Oh. Yo, yeah, this is how we started. High above the gaps between the factories, the classical gang returned to a favorite spot of theirs. Here, we can look down up in the squatting factories and look at the shard's pointed peak over the central. It was here that they started. It was here that they left home. After a long period of wandering about, they finally returned to this familiar place. But I left a glass of bird. Sure you don't want a tipple, Doctor? No, thank you. I'm going to embarrass myself in front of Vina again. I'll give you a share to her then. Just fruit juice for you, Dal? Don't call me that. I'm still not used to alcohol. Suit yourself and keep watch over you all. And yeah, finally a part where we can start bloody twinking and then fall off. Too bad. To the Glasgow gang! Too bad. To the Glasgow gang. Towards Island. To the Exemplars. To everyone who fought in the war. I love that she just has a wet cup with her for this. But everyone else... Okay, you also have a wet cup if you want to say everybody just access the bottles. And to all who those risk their lives coming home. To all those who live and who left. All those still by our side. To all those who shed blood and tears. All those who struggle in darkness and pain. To Victoria. To Victoria! There's no need for sorrow. Living engraved the moment in the memories, while those who left leave behind the hopes and dreams. The foul beasts croon as they spiral overhead, echoing the words. Heading off too, Delphin? Only for a short while. I need to go back to Linsendine. Cher will come along to recuperate. If you ever get real fed up of those lousy bastards, you can always come back here. This is your home too. Of course I will. I promised Vina after all. If there's ever a day you feel like it's all too much for you, Vina, I'll come back. But I think I can handle it. I hope the Londinians can live in peace and happiness. I hope that everyone can live their best lives. It's what they deserve. Everyone should be like us, smiling, without a tear in sight, on empty belly to be had. We're not going to let everything we've accomplished go to waste. If someone tries to take it from us, I'll be fighting back. Just like how we looked after this place back then. Vina. Vina, excellent Vina, that's fine. There's no difference the way I see it, no? Okay, I cannot burp on command. Sorry. If Bert were here, that's what she'd want me to do. No. Mood game. You're right, Vina. I really do hope so. To the Glasgow gang, to all of you. Welcome home, everyone. Well, surely Vina will now rule in peace and there will never be a tragedy befalling Victoria. I mean, this feels like so many that there surely will be more Victoria events at some point. I guess we'll see what they actually focus on in the future. Vina left us on the morning of the day after. She didn't let us see her off. Maybe she didn't want to wake us. And Tooth, we were all awake. I watched her change into those clothes I was never fond of, and walk off on her lonesome towards Central Londinium. Hope Vina managed to get a real good night's sleep. Best she sat in a long while. After all, It's only when she's at home that she doesn't need to think about anything. I spent the entire night writing down everything that happened the day Vina came home, no matter how big or small. I believe there will come a day that you, Vina, will read these words I wrote down. It might not be of too much use, but it can help you remember some of the more easily forgotten things. Vina, do you still remember that dream I wrote about earlier? And that dream was a tomb, all dressed up to the nines, our names were carved onto the plaques inside it. Outside at home, there was a blazing carriage. Atop sat a golden lion, he was calling my name. Vina Victoria. I dreamt I was you. I dreamt of a time I was all old and withered. Some afternoon, decades after I lost touch with my Glasgow friends. Walked in the tomb that Siege built for the gang. I cherished that unforgettable memory that is no longer mine. Cherished the tale that started in Norport. Vina, from the day you put on those clothes, I knew. In the end, you walk alone. I have no choice but to walk alone. That's depressing though. I'm sorry, there's no way for us to help you. Just stay by your side. But I wanted to let you know, we'll always be here. The Glasgow gang will always be here. For you, Vina Victoria. Member of our excellent Vina. By Kate Morgan. But she will be rich after she gets a publishing deal for this one. Maybe need to get somebody for the illustrations instead. But hey, that was like great timing to end the stream on. And I really liked this event. It is, I guess it's not what I kind of expected it to be when I first went into it. Kind of still would have seen actually, I guess, more of the immediate war end. But hey, they went off the way to really show and set the scene of Victoria. And I mean, I think this, I guess, okay, I did not do that many side stories. Actually, I did not even do half of them for sure, there's so many. But yeah, this was very in-depth on Vina as a person though, which is kinda rare, I would say. I mean, let's be fair, like all the side stories do focus a lot more on one side character, and you know, it's neat to actually get them fleshed out, but this felt very in-depth, very focused on Vina, which, you know, like I said, it makes sense. Also, sure as I would have not thought this is how the story goes from just doing the stages back in the day. But let's look for someone to wait. Let's see what we do. I mean, maybe doing some IS soon would be nice. IS is fun and we will have new stuff. But yeah, the next main story thing we would be doing, or story thing would be when Alchus are Ashes. I guess it should at least kind of show also more resolution between the kind of slow civil war that's brewing, Cold War, whatever you want to call it. That would be neat. I do wonder how Nicholas does join fucking Woods Island. That is interesting to see for sure. And then we will do... I mean, what? Yeah, we'll do a lot of the Vinelab storyline. Probably will do Dorothy's Vision and Lone Trail. And then, after that, we will start the third story arc. I'm very hyped for those story chapters, for sure. I mean, I think people are a bit split about how they feel about the second story arc. I think I still overall liked it a lot. Would even say more than the first story arc. But hey, if they're singing the praises even more for the third one, then we are eating good, baby. Guess we can wait Vito. Can I wait? No, okay, it does wait. Yippee. Tomorrow I will play Rapid and Steel with Olsey, and maybe afterwards do some little bit IS, depending how things goes. Thursday will be Slay the Spire, which should be cool. Friday I probably won't stream, but we will see. And then the usual weekend stuff. So yes, have a nice evening and maybe see you around. Bye bye. If the UI works to wait. I get there. Okay, it says I waited in this challenge, so bye bye.